I.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, it sure has been a while. Is what you're gonna say right now, right?
Uh, no,
No.
no, because it's only
No.
it has been a while. But well, we knew this would happen, didn't we?
I guess
Um,
maybe.
well, maybe not as soon as we thought it would, but I think we intended to talk about this game as soon as we knew it got a release date.
I'll be honest. This thing wasn't in my mind when playing the game. I just wanted to play the game.
Fair enough.
Like waiting for it and then playing. I'm like, we're gonna session this, huh? And then you brought it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
should do that.
yeah. We have a lot of things to talk about, don't we?
Yes, I'd say we do.
Well,
I would say we do indeed.
I think for the purposes of this, because we both took our time to play the game,
The matter of speaking.
in a matter of speaking, I think this is not the fastest we've finished games. Certainly not the fastest we've ever finished a game. But I think this is the closest to on time we've finished a game. I think. Because like
If there was a deadline, probably yeah.
yeah. It's like the only other game that like I can think of that we both finished pretty close to each other was Miles Morales.
Yeah, that took no time.
That took me like I finished that before you, just like this game. But I finished that in like a weekend. Like I think I played it for like a couple days and then I was done.
Yeah, ask him to beat.
It's a very fast game. This game, I thought it was gonna take way longer
It's
to
funny.
beat this game.
It is a chunker of a game. I think it's longer than the first game, but the first game took me ages to beat.
Yeah,
Probably
same.
because I didn't play it as consistently as I played Ragnarok. I know life
Yeah, literally
Ragnarok.
same. Like when I played this game, I was playing it for long sessions, just only this.
Mhm.
I think I took like 1 day to play the season 1 drop of Modern Warfare 2, and then that was it. So, I mean, yeah, this has been like the most consistent I've played a game. And it's always Sony games that I'm like this with.
They're addictive.
Hmm?
They're addictive if they're really good.
Yeah, it's either Marvel games or it's either comic book games or Sony exclusives that I do this with.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Fire Emblem game,
Oh yeah.
which when Engage comes out, I'm definitely gonna know life that. But obviously, as you can see, we are talking.
I
We're
know
gonna.
life Doom Eternal. I remember that.
I do remember that. Uh, yeah, I did know Live DMC5 when I was
Oh yeah.
playing that.
Same
I
here.
did know Live DMC5, but and speaking of character action games, we are talking about God of War Ragnarok today.
Indeed.
We've done more game sections this year than we've done film sections. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's a lie. That is a blatant lie. But
Like Guardians come out last year, right?
Guardians came out last year, and we did the Arkham games back in May, and now we're doing
Wait,
God of War Ragnarok.
if we're being technical, we did do more games because we did 3 Arkham games. Remember?
Yep. Okay,
So
technically yes,
technically,
because
yes.
those were all full sections in one.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about those for a long time. I fully expect us to talk about this game for a very long time. So, I do think. Okay, let's be openly clear. If you have not played God of War Ragnarok or don't know the story already, we're gonna ruin it all for you.
Although, what are you doing here? Play the game.
Play the game, or watch the cutscenes on YouTube, or watch somebody
Don't play
play
the
through the
games.
game.
Yeah, maybe play the game.
Play the game
Preferably.
if you want. If you're interested in playing it, you've already bought it. Um, if you only care about the story, you probably saw somebody play it, or you saw all the cutscenes already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we are gonna, with that in mind, we are gonna go fully spoilers. We're not gonna hide anything. If we don't talk about something, it means we didn't experience it
Or forgot.
or forgot. There's a lot of game here, so
There's a
excuse
lot of game
us
here.
excuse us if we forget something. Um, but yeah, I think I want to break this up into segments. Just talk about certain aspects of the game first before, like their own like parts. I can't really think of anything outside of the gameplay and the story. So I'm gonna let you decide what do we talk about first, story or
Well,
gameplay.
don't you want to talk about music? Because that shit's
Uh, I think
oof,
that all kind of flows into everything.
I suppose so. But I kind of want to dedicate, especially because God of War Ragnarok has one of the best soundtracks that I've heard in any game ever. Like
Uh,
God of War has
mhm.
always had
Good music,
consistently
good
good
music.
music, like all of them in their
Yep.
own way. 2018 was mind blowing in that aspect, but Ragnarok, I believe, surpasses it in many ways. It's quite phenomenal, bone
It's
chilling stuff.
it's a fantastic score.
I might buy it. That's how good it is.
If I had a record player and if that shit was on vinyl, yeah, I'd buy it.
Mm-hmm.
My parents would hate me for me blasting the Ragnarok theme.
I did not.
Bear McCreary once again
Oh
pulling
man,
off.
he's honestly turned into one of my favorite
He
composers ever.
he. I think for me it was when I first started playing the 2018 God of War because I played that game. I guess actually, you know what? Yeah, let's add that as a section, as like onto its own. Our thoughts on the 2018 God of War because you generally have more God of War experience than me. I've only had casual experience through playing bits and pieces of the God of War games when I was younger.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think I
bring
played
those
the
up.
most of God of War 3, but
Mm.
2018 was a very just because I borrowed it from a cousin years. My dad borrowed it from a cousin when it came out because that was like the biggest game when it came out. Um, and I remember just seeing so much of that game, and I thought it was so cool. That was like probably my first introduction to God of War. Was
2018 or
God of War
three?
3?
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
God
um,
of, God of War 3 is quite cool.
yeah. It's still like one of the most mind blowing games for that generation. Like how they were able to pull that off on that system, knowing what it is. You
After
know,
playing after playing so much of God of War 3 recently, that game's oof, mm, man, what a game.
I
I'll
don't know if that's
say.
a good oof or a
No, it's a good oof.
okay.
Not a okay, so right off the bat, I think God of War 3 is the best God of War game probably in terms of mechanics cuz
In
it
terms
is one of the,
like
in terms of
generally God of
mechanics,
War or the classic God of War.
generally God of War. Like
Okay.
I don't even think the new games beat it in terms of that those mechanics that the game has. God of War 3 is one of the most well, mechanically impressive games that I've ever played. Like everything that clouded the first two games with those flaws were just kind of gone by God of War 3. They listened very carefully and just removed everything and made everything better. God of War 3 is something else. Story,
Be better.
uh, but ooh,
Be better.
that's just impressive. It's not. I'm not sure if it's my favorite. That's I think we'll get into that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more we talk about it, uh, I can probably come to a conclusion on which is my favorite, probably. But we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah, God of War 3 is phenomenal. You should if you ever get it like for like PS4 remastered.
I have the remaster. It was a PS Plus
Ooh,
game. Yeah.
oh
I
yeah,
just
go
want to
do it.
get the collection on PS3.
Oh yeah,
Because the only other way for me to play those games is to track down copies of the PS2 versions
you can
and
play it on
track
PS
down.
now.
Yeah, fuck that. Or
Mm,
I can track down PSP copies of the PSP games. Um, but you know, there's alternatives to everything.
Speaking
So
of like, I was gonna say, God of War Ragnarok. I feel really rewarded for having played the older games because Ragnarok makes a lot of references to the older games, and not only that, but there were
yeah,
very meaningful references to the game.
there's an
It's like
entire trophy that you don't understand unless you know the other games.
yeah, some good stuff.
Um, uh, I mean, to chime in a bit, like I remember God of War 3 being insanely cool. But 2018 was different. I
Mhm.
played that game. Well, I first played it in 2019 when I bought a copy of it. That was the first game I bought with adult money.
I got it for my birthday on
Yep.
2018.
Yeah. I got it. I still have that copy. I didn't play it much on PS4. I don't particularly know. I think it was like I got stuck on a puzzle and then just stopped playing the game, which is
Yeah, you told
on.
me that. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. I
mm.
just stopped playing. I think there was other games I was playing at the time too. I don't remember. So,
Call of Duty something maybe.
no, I wasn't playing. I didn't have Black Ops 4 at the time, which would have been the Call of
Uh,
Duty that year. Because I had an
wait,
active stand against that game at the time.
wait. You played God of War in 2019, so
Hmm.
maybe it would have been. The, wait, what month should have been?
I want to say April,
Oh, then yeah, no,
like
never mind.
right at the 1 year anniversary of the game.
Never mind.
Yeah, and I had a very active stance against Black Ops 4 at the time.
You
Um,
sure did.
uh, but then uh, come late 2021, I was trying to find a game to play on the PS5, and I remembered that if you get the PS5, you're inducted into the PlayStation Plus collection, which gives you basically like the best of the best titles that were on the PS4 generation for free. So one of those games was God of War 2018. So I said, why not, right? Why not just, you know, install that and try it out, give it a true
Mm.
shot. And I played it pretty consistently for like 2 months until dropping off the face of the earth of it for an entire year. But then I beat it, and you watched
Yeah,
me beat it.
I did.
Yep.
You
Very,
made me
very rewarding experience for you, I guess.
you made me proud that day.
Yep. And fun fact about that, I was in the process of getting ready to finish because I made a promise to you, which was that I would beat God of War 2018 before Ragnarok came out.
And you did.
And I did. I cut it very close, but I did.
Quite close.
Um, but yeah, no, I did beat that game. I think it's a phenomenal game. It's not. Maybe upon thinking about it more, it might enter my favorite games of all time, but it's definitely one of the most impressive games I've ever played. I think it is a masterpiece. I can't think of a
Mm.
single. I can think of things I don't like about it, but they're tiny things in the scale of things,
Oh,
in the
I
scale of
think there are.
complaints.
I think it's a game with plenty of issues. A lot of most of it being gameplay,
Yeah,
combat.
I've heard Give Me God of War difficulty on 2018 was a cardinal
Bullshit.
sin. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. It's not. Yeah, it's such lame.
yeah. Um, which I played the game on balance. I enjoyed the game quite fondly. I think that game does have problems with its enemy variety, and me a big one was the camera.
Ugh,
I did not like the camera in that game. I thought
that
it
is
was
not
way too
possible.
close, and it made combat at times rather annoying. Even though I still
Especially,
enjoyed the combat of the game, I think it's really good combat.
um,
Um,
I wouldn't say it's really good combat. Just very enjoyable combat. Like it relies a lot on issues with combat in the game, but yeah, continue.
I personally really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, especially because I started God of War 2018 right after I finished DMC5. So I gained an understanding or an appreciation for character action. So playing a game with some pretty decent skill based combat was rewarding. Um,
Right. I would say God of War's for combat is very satisfying and brutal. Not the Last of Us satisfying where it's really fun to press the same button over and over again and until you beat the enemies square, 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 square. The satisfying type that it's very cool to for me to drive my axe inside someone's skull, rip them apart. Satisfying that when you do a perfect dodge, you get all of that momentum and then boom,
parrying
huge reward parrying. It's
Parrying is so
satisfying that way.
satisfying in that game.
Yes.
I don't give a shit about parrying really in any game, but in God of War, I parried.
Well, yeah, every God of War has parrying.
Yeah.
But
Particularly 2018, like parrying was just so satisfying to use.
it was. But issues with combat go along with how do you say, enemy design.
Attack
It's
patterns?
attack patterns is bullshit sometimes,
Yeah.
and a lot of that is prevalent in God of War Ragnarok.
Which we'll get
But
to. Yeah.
which I do believe Ragnarok does have some improvements, because I do like the fact that Kratos doesn't just. What annoyed me in the first game was that you press the attack button, he just zooms in on the enemies. He's not really stepping forward. It's just a zoom, just hua, hua. Ragnarok, it's, you have to get up close
Yeah.
to hit your enemy naturally.
Um,
Uh, there's a problem with harder enemies just not staggering at all, which will be fine, but it's how do you say? There's no they don't stagger, and then there's this lack of time for you to dodge their attacks when they hit you,
you
and
just
that's
kind of you
that's
have to take the hit.
yeah, you have to take the hit. And the thing is, they're stronger enemies, and if you're really low level, you're done.
Yeah. The game was very punishing about if you didn't parry certain attacks, you just took the hit.
Yeah, but there's also attacks that you just can't parry.
Yeah.
Or by that I mean stronger enemies, very strong enemies, like level
Yeah.
6 early on. You should have to dodge, 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 dodge.
Yeah.
It's because God of War, I love it a lot, but it does have a very shoehorned RPG mechanic.
Oh, the leveling.
Yeah, the whole leveling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
I
does feel very shoehorned.
which in to say in Ragnarok's defense, they definitely cleared up that system. Like it's much more
Yes,
clear what defines you leveling up,
I would say so.
by making stats very visible. Because in the last game, they were all hidden behind menus, and you didn't quite understand when you leveled up your, when you leveled up Kratos and what armor, helped you out the most. But in
Yeah,
Ragnarok, there's much more clear builds. You can do really whatever you want while leveling up Kratos.
yeah.
There's a lot more freedom in the combat in this game, but it's still, yeah, I think we both have things to talk about in terms of the combat of Ragnarok.
Which would make say that 2018 and even Ragnarok's combat is very limiting in scale. A lot of it due to the camera.
Yeah, they remedied some of those issues with Ragnarok by having the camera pull out frequently, when there's more massive enemies. When you're fighting, say, how do you? I always mess this up. Arinyar,
The Iron Yard. Yeah.
Einherjar, however you say it. When you fight like 6 of those at a time, their attack patterns are so weird that sometimes you just see the red dial and you're like, oh fuck, okay, I gotta turn around, and then you just get hit by like 6 dudes at once, and then you're suddenly at the bottom of your health bar, and Trace is
I
like, you're
got
not looking too good, and I'm like, yes, I know.
shut up. Shut up.
So I found myself rolling into corners like
Yes.
without thought just to try to get out of the way of the attack
Hmm.
because I didn't want to bother trying to move the camera because I knew it wouldn't help,
I'll go up with that.
especially in certain boss fights, which we'll talk about. The Berserkers,
Oh,
those boss fights are,
bad.
they're
I'm gonna
not the
say it.
Valkyries.
No, the Valkyries are great.
And I spend all day trying to decipher why I think the Valkyries are better, and I think the attack patterns are just much more fair.
No, they are. They definitely are.
They're
Totally.
more
Even
fair.
like,
If you get hit by a Valkyrie, that's on you.
yeah, I'm gonna say
You
it.
messed up.
Sigrun is fair. She's hard, but she's very fair. You could know you know what
Fair.
her
You
attack
can
patterns
do it.
are.
You can
You
do
can
it
do
if
it.
you
You
study.
can do it.
If you figure out the attack pattern and if you figure out how to use the best of your kit and the best of
Yeah,
your
wait.
build.
Not only
And
that, her attack patterns. Sorry to interrupt you, but her
you're
attack
good.
patterns are a lot of what you would encounter for the other Valkyries. You've already encountered them, so you know what to do by that already.
With the berserkers, all of the berserkers have completely different movesets that I've fought. At least I've fought 3.
I would say there are some times where I would recognize a move from like the past Berserker,
Where they have like the
but
ground pound, that like suns up area
sure,
effect around it.
a ground pound or this super fucking move where they shoot 3 projectiles at once and you can't block them. You have to
Yeah,
dodge
you
them
have to
at
dodge
the
out of the way
perfect time.
because
Literally perfect time.
I was noticing that when I was fighting the lightning one,
Oh, oh man.
where it granted the game telegraphs you can't block that by showing the red circle. They're going, hey, you can't block
Yes.
this, but when you need to roll out of the way is so specific.
Yes.
Because you can't roll at the beginning of the move because then you're going to get hit by it. If you roll it at too far at the end of the move,
You're gonna hit.
you're going to get hit by it, and you're going to get hit by it bad because at this point the berserker's already powering up another move,
Also, it stunts. That's
and
the
it
worst part about it.
stuns, and you have to mash circle to get out of it.
Oh, dude,
Um,
it's not even
so
the worst
you
though.
really you have to dodge in the middle of the move,
Mm-hmm.
and he has like 10 moves that are all projectiles,
Yes, and they stun.
and they all stun because they're
Gabe,
electric, and electric stuns in this game.
Gabe, he's not even the worst guy though.
Oh,
He is not the
I don't
worst
want
guy.
to. It makes me not want to fight the rest of them.
Oh, dude,
So
I will tell.
I found a few other places where you can fight them. I gave up on one.
I will tell you which one I mean. I mean, just right now, it's the one. It's the 3 in Alfheim. I don't,
Jeez,
I don't know if you know what I mean,
no,
but
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, it,
I fought 2 in Svartalfheim. No, I fought 1 in Midgard, 1 and 2 in Svartalfheim. I gave up on the second one I found in Svartalfheim.
yeah. I fought 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in Midgard, 1 in Svartalfheim. I think I might have also been 1 in Svartalfheim, but the one that I gave up on was the one in Alfheim because it's 3 of them
At once.
at once.
Oh,
Two of them, two of them having projectiles. One of them being the assaulting one.
At least you
Yeah.
have like Freya to help you. Oh, yeah, right.
Well, I had Atreus.
You had
by the
Atreus.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, but by the time I did it, but ugh. No, sir. Here's
Yeah.
the worst part. I guess this is where my rank comes in. The one I told you about.
Mhm.
So
Hit me with it.
this is where the camera comes into play. It's fucking garbage for fights like this.
Have you finally warmed up to my complaint about the camera?
I was all in on it. It just didn't bother me as much in God of War
2018.
4, 2018, even though it's there. It's definitely there.
Yeah. You understood
But
me, but you didn't agree.
yeah. Or more so, it didn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
But in a stage like this, where it's not exactly a small stage, but it's not wide enough to compensate for the attacks that they
It's
do
a
to you.
small circle.
It's a small, yeah. It's just not enough to compensate for the attacks that they give you. This is where the camera is fucking garbage. A lot of in a lot of the fight, I was driven back to the wall, say, and I couldn't see what was happening because I was my ass was on the wall, and so was the camera. And the way the boss fight works is that if you fight the berserker one, that being the one that just hits you physically, while you fight the one that hits you physically, you fight them. One of them, being 2 projectiles, one of them will focus on Atreus, while the other one focuses on you, on supporting the other guy. So a lot of times you have to do a lot of back and forth between fighting the guy attacking you physically while trying to avoid the guy shooting the projectiles moves at you. It's not consistent, and by that I mean sometimes they will just hit you at the same time with same moves, and it will just not be you will not be fast enough to avoid them. One particular move that I hate a lot is when they throw you a giant orb at you. When it moves pretty slowly, but remember Alfheim where there were like these projectile elves that shot this orb at you, and you had to throw your axe at it for it to like not hit you because you can't block it.
Yeah, and the best time to
and
do it was to do it right as they threw it out because it would hit the enemy as well.
Yeah, and it tracks you too. So there's no.
So
really
you
dodging
literally,
that.
it's either you hit it or you get hit.
Yep, that was the issue with one of them. They shot the orb at me, I either had enough time to block the attack from the physical guy, or enough time to throw my axe or spear at the orb. But if I dodged, I had to fucking dodge, and hopefully be far enough to avoid the hitbox. I rarely
That's
was.
oh jeez.
And they come with other moves too. They come no not don't they don't just come with the orb. They come with the move that I was talking about, the projectile move, where you dodge in the middle or you're fucked. Which by the way, they both of them were fire and ice type. So if you got hit by that, you got burn damage, or you got frozen, so you're slow.
Oh, did
They
they
give
did they
they
also
go,
make you switch weapons?
oh, I switch. No, you don't have to switch weapons,
Okay,
thankfully.
okay. Because I was gonna say if they're fire and ice and they make you fight one with the blades and one with the Leviathan axe, I would have been like, oh.
I'll say I'm glad that's not there anymore. Having to switch from weapons to weapons, you could just kill them with
I
whatever.
mean, they did add like things where like if certain enemies had a red health, had a red gauge on them,
Right? Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you hit them with the axe, it would take way more
Of
damage.
course. Yeah, yeah. That was the idea. Encourage you to use different weapons, but at the
Yep.
same time, not restricting you to it.
Which, while we're talking about weapons,
Oh, the spear.
how do you, yes.
Oh, I love the spear. It's
First of
so
all, I
good.
want to talk about the revamped combat, and the combat in general is revamped.
It is.
It's at first it doesn't quite hit you because it's like, okay, this is God of War, right? This is the same. I remember the Leviathan X is still doing the same combo. Once you unlock that skill tree, I was like, oh, they completely changed the moveset.
Mhm.
And a lot of the old shit that you got in the last game, you get through like runes
Yeah.
and stuff later in the game. Like I got his like the first slot that you get for the Leviathan X in the first game or the last game was the one where he does like the big pushback. What he puts the axe in the air and does like a big push.
Yeah.
I got that towards the end of the game.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I got it pretty early on.
and I found it later, and I used that to the end of the game because I was like, this is a really good move.
I use the beam and
Oh,
the
you found the beam?
yeah.
Oh shit, where is it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it might have been where the ravens are. The raven
In
tree.
Niflheim?
Yeah.
Because you don't get any rewards for doing the
If you
training there.
oh no. I mean, well, when you
Oh,
kill
for killing the ravens, that's one of
killing
the
the ravens.
rewards.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Pretty sure. I think
I
it was
only did
that.
2 of the chests.
I know I got a really good rune attack from the raven,
Mhm.
and that being the big one where you hold your axe in the air and it just does a tornado of ice.
I haven't even seen that one.
Oh, dude, that when I got that move in God of War, that's what helped me against the Valkyrie Queen. That's what helped me
Hmm.
against Sigrun. That's what did it for me. Like, oh my god, that helped a lot.
Yeah, this which move did you use on the so for me the final kit was time stop for my L1 plus circle.
Yes, I had time stop.
I had
Bullet.
L1R1 for axe was the big pushback, and L1R2 was one where he would put the axe onto the ground, do a big AoE, and then pull the axe up and do a second AoE.
Yeah, I experimented a lot
Mhm.
with my rune attacks.
I did too until I found the ones where I really liked them, and
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, no, I'll keep these for the rest of the
I
game.
would
Like
say
I
so.
think I found one for the blades, and I never switched off of it.
I would say that I did the most experimenting with the blades
Mhm.
because they're very versatile weapons. But the ones that I kept for most of the time is for uh L1R1. No, wait, wait. Yeah, L1R1. It was the spinning attack because crowd control.
Right. I had
Uh
one. I had a CC move for Kratos for the blades as well. My L1R2 was one where he um pulled the blade. He extended the blades out, threw them to the side, and any enemy in the radius got pulled in and sent into the air.
uh I think I got that one too.
Yeah.
Didn't use it as much.
My
Uh
L1R1 for the blades was the bombs, where you would mash and stick them onto the enemies, and
yeah.
then it would do simultaneous explosions. It paired very well with the spear.
Man, these runes in the game in this game were like a godsend. Like, oh my god, I think I'm runes ready.
Yeah. The cooldowns were a lot slower this time.
Yeah, they were. A
At
lot of
least
it depends on the move.
like the ones that were really good had longer cooldowns.
They did.
Were like in 2018, I had my beam like every 20 seconds. It was,
Yeah.
or at least it felt like it.
Yeah, it took forever.
Yeah.
Beam.
Which let's talk about that spear.
Oh, it's so good.
As soon as I got that spear, I was like, all right, I'm not taking off of you for the rest of this little level we're doing here. I love that spear.
It's so good. Like
It's so good.
I love the setup for it entirely. Like
Yeah.
how much to hype it up, and then I'm like, it's a spear, a new weapon. Oh my god!
Because it was like, all right, we're getting something. What is it gonna be? And it's a new weapon. And I was like, that. And I was like, that's. I was like, down on the D-pad sure is empty right now. Outside of putting the Leviathan axe back.
Yeah, I was so happy because like finally a new fucking weapon.
Yep.
Oh my god!
And it's such a cool weapon. It is a cool weapon. So well designed.
I love that it's a spear too for Kratos, a Spartan.
And even better, it doesn't break combat.
It doesn't break.
It doesn't break combat. It's like
it's so useful. It's like. Go ahead.
It was in the same way that they handled the Blades of Chaos in the last game, where it was like, this is super cool to have, and it doesn't break combat.
Mm-hmm.
And now I was worried when I first got it, I was like, okay, now we have 3 weapons. How are they going to balance this out? And now it's like, oh, right. Perfectly fine.
But because I thought, okay, if I gotta get a new weapon for Kratos, how is it gonna fit on this bag? Oh, just fine, make it a ring. Cool.
Right, yeah. Which, man, let's talk about the realms. Shoot. You get to go to all 9 realms in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of them is just as diverse as Midgard was.
I'm not there yet, but we'll see. Getting all the seeds for the realms.
Oh yeah, you haven't gotten all the Yggdrasil seeds?
No, I still have.
Which realm do you not have unlocked?
I think this just might be 2 of them. I don't know. I forgot the names, but
because throughout the story, you pretty much unlock all of them outside of Asgard.
You can't go to Asgard anymore.
No, because Asgard's gone. It's destroyed.
Yeah, boy.
Which, I mean, while we're speaking of gameplay, the biggest thing that was changed about this game that you would have spoiled yourself if you checked the controller configurations early on in the game was playable Atreus. Now, this is something I really want to talk about because
I'd say one of the biggest things is sorry to interrupt. I'd say one of the biggest. Well, it's pretty simple, but it's such a cool thing. You know, diving attacks.
Yeah,
grappling, and then attacking mid dive. That's cool.
Yeah. But playable Atreus is the big thing because we did talk about this months ago, where I was like, "How would you feel if you got to play as Atreus?" And you weren't so hot on it back then.
I think it was the idea of him just being the main guy for like a future God of War where say Kratos died. That I was like and I was thinking of an adult Atreus in my mind, not a young one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, given what the topic was, it was like I'm not sure about leading a God of War as him. I don't know. It just wouldn't be God of War without Kratos, in my opinion. But this one right here is acceptable, I'd say.
And let's be clear, it is very even. You play as an Atreus, then you play as Kratos. Then you play as Atreus, then you play as Kratos. It's
now when you say even,
it's pretty 50-50 split in terms of who you get to play. It's definitely leaning more Kratos. But
right, because Atreus can't open world.
No, Atreus can't open world.
What I like about it is that they kind of know that you want to play Atreus more than Atreus.
Yeah, which is why Kratos gets all the big exploration areas, and Atreus' stuff is pretty linear.
they make sure you get the chance to play as Kratos as much as you want before going to Atreus.
Which awesome. Let's talk about that. Another thing in the UI, whenever you're told, because before in the last game, if you wanted to keep exploring, the characters would say, "Well, we can keep exploring." Now the characters still say it, but there's also in the when you want to check like your favors and stuff, it goes, "Go to the story when ready."
Yeah.
It just goes like, "Feel free to explore however you want. We're not forcing you to continue the story.
Hmm.
Do whatever you want." And that definitely felt more freeing. It didn't feel like wasting time.
It's very in line with the narrative too.
Yeah. They worked out very good places to put that. Um, which did you do all of the story side quests?
Uh, well, no, I didn't finish it. Well, I didn't do the new ones. I didn't do the new ones that they packed up for me to do.
Okay, you didn't do
And
the post game.
no, not I haven't done them
Yeah,
yet.
I'm probably gonna do the post game. I don't know if
Definitely gonna
I'll.
do the post
I'm
game.
gonna
There's
try.
a lot.
There's a lot to do.
Dude, there's a whole new game
I
behind the new game.
yeah. I want to fight Gana.
Sure.
I've heard she's fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think I'm
She's a
gonna
new
fight.
Valkyrie Queen, bro.
Yeah,
Show some goddamn respect.
I don't know if I'm gonna fight the berserkers. And there
I'm going
is.
to just.
I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do
I'm not.
Muspelheim.
I'm not gonna
I'm,
succumb to these fuckers.
I'm
Fuck
not
that.
gonna. I'm not gonna do the Crucible shit.
Oh, why not?
I've heard some of the later Crucible stuff is like stuff where you have to defend multiple rings at once,
Mm.
and I'm like, that sounds like torture in this
I'm
combat
gonna.
system, so I'm not gonna do
I,
it.
I, I'm just gonna try to platinum the game as best as I can, or get as much as I
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
'Cause
do
the
it.
game's fun. It's fun to play, so I
It's
want to,
fun to play. Yeah.
yep, play as much as I can.
Um. Yeah. I mean, I think let's talk about Atreus combat. He's
Oh,
certainly not as in depth as Kratos, but he has a full move set and a full move skill tree for you to
yeah.
play around with, and they give you enough time to experiment with that move set.
They gave you new stuff to use with him, so
Yep,
you
he gets time stop without a rune, like an asshole,
know.
but only for a split second. He doesn't
If
get it. He
it,
doesn't get full on time stop like
it's
Kratos does.
it is a perfect dodge too, right?
Yep, it's a perfect dodge and perfect parry. So if you
Yes.
perfect dodge or perfect parry, you get to do it, and the game will give
But
you a big prompt to do it. By the way,
yeah, so you see, I didn't get that. The
oh, you didn't get that skill.
No, I didn't get that skill.
Not as
It's
useful
based
as
on
you think.
well, it's based on armor, right?
No, no, it's in the skill tree.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in
oh,
his
okay.
skill tree. Yeah, it's one of the later ones. It's really expensive. But by the end of the game, I had so much Atreus XP. I was like, fuck it.
Or I was gonna ask how much what level were you at before you stopped playing the game?
Um, I was. I think I got like halfway through level 5, or I just got to level 6.
It was quarter six
Yeah.
by the end of it. Yeah.
Which another thing, which I mentioned the spoilers, because if you would have checked the controller configuration at the beginning of the game, you
Yeah.
would have seen companion action
No, I didn't see
instead
that.
of stun action. In the last game,
Is
Square was stun action. In this game, if you check the configuration, it says companion action.
I had a feeling about that when when it showed the HUD
Mm-hmm.
about companion. Yeah, I'm like, what does that mean?
The biggest thing that keyed me off was when you check the skill menu, and just like the last game, Kratos' full skill list and move set is there. You just have to unlock it. And then you go, and it's a big page. And then when you go to Atreus, he gets the tiny top left-hand corner
There
with
it
like
is. Here you
4
go. Here you go.
skills and this full page. And I'm like, I wonder when that's going to expand.
Oh, I know what gave it away for me. It was when it literally said Atreus XP. Like Atreus XP. What do you mean by that?
He got XP in the last game.
Did he?
Yeah. That's how you unlocked his skills.
I'm pretty sure. I thought it was just XP.
No,
Like
it
just
was,
your
I
XP
think.
is their XP. Really?
Oh, no, you're right. Oh, his XP was just one system. You're right.
Yeah. It's just
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you would have saw that at the beginning of the game, it would have well, right immediately that you're gonna get that at some point Atreus is going to be playable.
Well, for me, it was that am I gonna get a new companion? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was like, who are we gonna? Because at that time you're thinking like, who could possibly be your companion outside of Atreus? And then you're like, oh, we're gonna get Brock and Sindri.
Wait a minute, where's their XP?
They don't get any.
Exactly. It was like, wait a minute, so it's not them? Hmm.
But then you don't. You also don't get Angerboda XP either.
No, of course not, dude. She's not
Yeah.
really there much to play to be play.
No. No. She
Companion.
has her own story reasons for being relatively absent. Um, but the big one for me that made me incredibly excited was seeing Freya XP,
Yeah.
which that's definitely more story we can get into. But
Yeah.
to keep in line with exploration, I correct me if I'm wrong, but in the last game, exploration was obviously a big part of it. Like there were things everywhere, but they were a lot more hidden. You had to go looking. In this game, it
Yes.
feels like shit's just everywhere.
I think a lot is because dude, there's a lot more realms,
Yeah.
and
And they are smaller
they don't
map
want to.
sizes. There
Yeah,
are
they're
smaller map sizes than the Midgar was in the
yeah
last game. Yeah.
they don't want to overwhelm you
Yeah.
with the
What?
size
Yeah.
of a new realm just being as big as Midgard.
Yeah. Because
That'd be
Midgard was
insane.
pretty big in the last game.
Mega was pretty big
Mhm.
indeed. And compared to the one that we have now, it's like that's small ass Midgard.
Yeah. I mean, there's story reasons why you can't go everywhere, but
I'm fine with it.
yeah, I'm fine with it. We got to explore Midgard in the last game. We want to go to the
Yeah,
other realms. So
and maybe
it's
explore this
fine.
new version of Midgard too. What else
Yep.
does it have to offer?
Yep.
Although I'll say it is kind of a shame that you don't get to explore Asgard. I mean, there's probably not much to it, given that it's a lot of open space and green.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And really all that matters up there is what's going on with the Aesir.
Mhm.
So for story reasons, I understand why you really want to like pull the narrative, and also for other reasons, Atreus is the only one there. Atreus is not going to go exploring. He has a job to do.
Yeah.
He has a thing to do, and so it would not make any sense for him to just go traveling when
Well, back before this
he's got a
game,
very specific job to do.
back before the game came out, I expected a complete different Asgard,
Yeah,
where we can explore as Kratos.
yeah. The
that was
game
cool.
definitely surprised me around every
Yeah.
turn. Yeah,
Mhm.
with what character's going to be more significantly involved and how things were going to go. It definitely did surprise me in every corner in that way. Um, man, the I wish we could have done more with certain things you get towards the end of the game. Like you remember Freyr's boat?
Yes, I
Why
believe that.
were we given that outside of that one quest line that
No,
ends so fast?
by the looks of it, there is more to do with it.
I would hope so. They crafted a
Yeah.
very big animation for it.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, we still have to save the guy that shot the flare out. I forget his name.
um,
Rock
Brigveer? I think that
Revere.
was his name.
I,
Brigier? I don't know. I don't know.
Brigier is probably that. Yeah.
Brigier, yeah. Um,
It's just funny how they didn't show us a favor to do it
yeah.
so far. I assume, but then these guys is there shooting flares all the time. Like, what the fuck are they? God damn it!
Hmm.
It's just like, where are they? Come on,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, the gameplay in this game is really good, but I have problems with the difficulty.
Mm.
Not because I've particularly found it too hard. It was just the way
Unfair.
unfair it felt at times. With like, why is it that Draugr have 6-hit combos that I can't parry or block or roll out of the way?
I'd say you can't block them. Just once you get hit by the first one, you can't block
You
it. You're
can't,
fucked.
and you can't run out the way. And it also felt
You're
like,
just unlocked.
yeah, it also felt like I took way more damage in this game than I did in the last one. Like enemies were
Yes,
hitting really hard.
it's a
And
lot
and
harder.
and to be clear, I played on Give Me Balance.
No, I played on. the harder one. Give me a challenge, I believe. But yeah,
It was unfair at times. I was like, what is this?
I I I do appreciate that unfairness didn't show on bosses, and by that I mean main bosses.
Yeah,
Those
yes,
main
main
bosses,
bosses, story bosses, mini bosses. Those were well done.
yeah, story bosses were actually pretty balanced, all this
Yeah.
considered,
They weren't too
and
hard. They
pretty
weren't too
great,
difficult. Yeah.
and pretty great. My
Which now that you've beaten the game, favorite story boss?
so Heimdall at first, but now I'm not sure. I
What
don't
are
know
you
anymore.
leaning? What are you leaning more towards?
Uh,
My assumption would be Ernest and Meist.
narratively, it's Thor.
The
Both
first
of
Thor
them.
boss. Okay.
Both of them, but I'm leaning more towards the second one.
Yeah, I
But
like the second.
gameplay,
I like the second Thor boss more. Yeah.
yeah, but gameplay, it is the Valkyries.
Ernest and Meist.
Yes, they were quite excellent, especially with the ending.
Yes.
Yes, oh
Holy
boy,
shit.
holy shit, man, it's so
Yeah.
hype.
Which let's talk a little bit about that trailer, the story trailer.
I'm kind of mad that they
We
gave it away in that trailer. Like that would have been such a shock
it would have been
with the Valkyries
yeah,
popping up. Like, oh shit.
yeah. Which dude, that fucking trailer, because we watched that live when they were doing the state of play,
Mhm.
and we were popping
We were.
off. Like as soon as those Valkyrie drops in, we were like, I mean,
No way,
a
bro.
little silly of me to go. Valkyries are gonna be normal enemies now.
I was like, I don't know about
It's a
that.
little silly of me in retrospect, but imagine how cool that would have been.
I don't, you know, I don't know about that. I think I would have hated them more if they were casual enemies fighting me like that.
But yeah, that was really that was a really fun boss fight to do.
They
Harista
were.
Meist.
Uh, man, it's hard to say, but I think Odin might be the worst one, but he's still a pretty great boss. It's
He's
crazy enough.
I was underwhelmed by Odin. I'll be frank. I was
Oh,
underwhelmed by Odin. Not because it wasn't bigger, but because it was easier than Thor,
it was his student. Well, yeah, it was his student Thor.
which for some reason that just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, "Oh, why am I having less struggle fighting
It's
Odin than
strange because
Thor?"
Odin has a lot more going on in
Yeah,
his
he's
skill
got two
set.
phases.
Two fa-
He's
yeah,
got
two
two
phases.
phases and he's got a very big, he's got a lot of shit you have to like get out of the way of.
It's Diarrhea Lights, the second phase.
And uh, I was just like, "Huh, okay."
No, but I liked it a lot.
It's not a bad fight, but I was just like, this could have
I
been
think
a little
he's
bigger.
I'd say he's one of the more unique bosses because he
He's got a
doesn't
lot of
rely.
AoE shit.
He does a lot of magic on you.
Yeah.
He doesn't try
You
to.
have to
Yeah.
really play it right.
Mhm.
You can't go for parries on him like you could on Thor. You have to just stay out of his way and then get him.
Oh, I'd say you can try to parry. I parried him a few times, but
You can definitely parry him,
I
but
did
it's
not
not
rely on
safe.
that.
It's not
Yeah,
safe.
it's not safe.
It's not safe.
He's a punishing boss, albeit
Yeah.
easy-ish.
Um
Like again, I'm picking on
Especially when you get both Freya and Atreus on the second phase. I was like, "Oh,
Oh
I'm
man,
steamrolling this man."
but you know what I like a lot about it is that I fucking wanted to beat this man up.
Dude, there
I wanted to destroy him.
was no boss I wanted to beat the shit out of more than Heimdall.
Heimdall didn't hurt me as much. He didn't piss me off. He was annoying. I felt like the characters. I felt like the characters in the game. Like, oh, this fucking guy. That was me.
Yeah, yeah.
But with
No,
Odin,
for
I'm
me,
like,
I was just like, dude, I was fuming whenever Heimdall started speaking. I was just like, I want to sock you one right now.
patronizing. It was so satisfying when he lost his arm. Like, get fucked.
Dude, I was just like, because like for narrative reasons, when Kratos kills him, you should be like, oh shit, no, why'd you do that? I was just like, good. Fuck
I'm
that
not sure.
guy.
I'm not sure it should be. Oh shit, what you did. It's just that. Oh shit. No.
Because
Damn. That's such.
remember, at the time of that story, they're still unsure of whether or not they're even fighting fate. They're even defying it. So
Well,
Kratos,
it was also a matter of Kratos going back to his old ways. Like,
yeah.
oh shit, god damn it.
So in that moment, you're like, oh shit, what did you just do? Like, what does this mean? And
See, for me, it was more like, ah, damn, that sucks. But he left you no choice. He literally left you no choice.
yeah, he literally
Yeah.
leaves you no choice.
Hmm.
But in that moment, I didn't think about any of that. I was just like, yo, fuck that guy. He deserves it. I was like, I wanted the R1. When you smash his face in, I was like, yes.
Not even the most brutal thing Kratos has ever done,
No, but it was the most
but
satisfying face smash.
ah,
Man,
well, yeah.
fuck that guy.
I guess doing it to a guy that you hate, yes, it would be.
Yeah, fuck
Even though
that guy. Fuck
Zeus was a
Heimdall.
prick too. Zeus was a prick
Scott
too.
Porter did such a good job.
Yeah.
Which, um, for me to have my little moment, um, I fucking recognized Scott Porter immediately. I was like, I know that guy. I know that
Oh.
asshole. It's like I know Damian Wayne anywhere.
Oh.
Um,
He played Damian Wayne.
in
Oh yeah,
Injustice too, yeah,
Injustice.
yeah. He does a good Damian Wayne. Uh,
You hate him too.
I don't hate Damian Wayne as much in Injustice as Heimdall.
Interesting.
Heimdall's a bigger prick.
Yeah, I
He's such a
see that.
patronizing prick. As soon as he got hit that one time, I was like, come on. You're gonna cry like a little bitch, aren't you? I know you are.
You do.
And he was like,
Oh,
ah, please, 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 stop, stop, stop. I was like, yeah, yeah, good. That's all I wanted.
oh, look a little Heimdall Jr. Gonna cry.
Gonna cry. Um, yeah, no, I that was my favorite boss fight in the game, just for like satisfying reasons. It was just the most satisfying one for me. But I think it's a really well designed fight.
It is. Yeah.
Having essentially three phases where you fight his beast and then you fight him, trying your damnness to get a hit in, and then the second phase where he goes all out and you go all out.
Yeah.
That's just a great boss to me. But I think pretty close to that, if not above it, is Harist and Meast. And that was just the most like hype fight in the game for me.
Yes, indeed it was.
But then after that, it would definitely have to go to like the second Thor fight, just because of how varied it is. Like he does a lot of the same moves he did, but now they're stronger and he's more aggressive.
And he has two faces as
And he
well.
has two phases, and he hits harder and faster, and he just gets like that move where he like puts like fucking 17 circles down on the ground, and you would just have to find the right moment to like get
I,
him.
yeah, no, actually, I discovered that when he does that move, you can just go to him and it won't hurt you.
Yeah,
Like after
can't
the
you double tap the shield?
yeah, you can.
Yeah, which we didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah, shield combat
Shield combat.
or like the variety of shields that you
Yeah,
can
the
have.
variety
You
of
can have different
shields.
shields.
Which shield did
Then
you keep on you the
uh
most?
at first I had Stonewall because defense, and then boom, give it back. And then I had the one that offers mobility, the one that you just go around with. It charges up with every time you hold it up, and then if they hit you,
Mm-hmm.
the charge goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still blocking.
Yep.
And then you hold it up. You can go a lot faster with the shield.
Mm-hmm.
You're not walking. You're actually running. No sprinting, unfortunately, but running. And then if after two charges, you can just and then
Mm-hmm.
it makes the enemies fly away.
So that's what you
That
ended
that
with.
yeah, that's what I had most of the game.
So that's what I ran. I
Oh,
ran
nice.
Stonewall at the start of the game because I wanted to be rewarded for being bad at parrying. Um, and it worked well with me trying to make like a defensive Kratos. And then I
Yeah,
used that shield that you were talking about. I forgot what it's called, but it's the one where you hold it to get the charge.
yeah.
And then at the end, I swapped to the Guardian Shield.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I stayed with that for the rest of the game.
So, yeah, I had a lot of these. The one that I stayed with because it helped my stats also. So I didn't
See,
want to
that's why I
switch
stayed
up.
with the charge up one. I didn't like it at first.
Oh, I liked it a lot,
I
but
didn't like it because I wanted to be able to. Because if you notice when you parry with that one, the parry isn't as strong. I don't know if you noticed that with that shield. Or at least it
yeah.
felt like when I hit the parry, it didn't do much.
Well, there's no counterattack for you parrying. You're just on the enemy, and then you
Yeah,
get the chance to
hit
attack with
them.
no counterattack. Yeah.
But with the stone wall, if you parried, you had that chance. You hit back. And with the guardian shield, obviously, you absorb the hit and throw it back.
Well, I did like that. If you parry with that raid shield, you can get your charge back and then instantly, like the whole thing.
Hmm.
So that was neat. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool with the whole shield thing. A lot more to do. They took away shield combat, like moves to do with the shield, but
Hmm.
what they did to compensate, I dig it.
Yeah. It's a cool feature. Also, weapon charging. You hold
Yes.
triangle to gain permafrost, and with that's for the Leviathan axe. And then if you mash triangle with the blades, you get a spinning move that does like kind of a bit of like burn damage. And then with the spear, if you hold it and then you let it go, it if you have any uh, spears used, it'll just ignite them all.
I won't lie, I don't know if that is a thing in the first game. Charging
It's not.
weapons.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the last game, this is carried over into this game too. But the way like the substitute for that would be just not getting hit. Because if you didn't get hit for a certain amount of time, you gain boost to permafrost, and then when you use the axe, you would do additional, of that status.
Right.
So it was just rewarding you for not getting hit. But in this game, you get that as well as the charge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I did all of the story side quests that I could. Um, so I did the one with Skull and Hot, not Skull and Hottie, Specky and Svanna. I did the Half Goofa. I did Freya's. I did Ludna's. I did um. Oh man, what did I? Oh shoot,
I can presume.
I did
I can presume.
Durlin's.
Oh yeah.
I did the one at the very end of the game.
Mhm.
Uh, I did Rabes. I did Mimir's. Yeah, yeah, I did Mimir's,
Yeah.
and I
With the
did
whale, right?
with the whale.
With the whale.
I don't remember a whale.
Oh, you're not there.
I don't remember a whale.
Oh, all right. So remember when you're clearing out um, all those quote unquote oil pumps in Savalheim, or
Yeah,
you're cleaning the
yeah,
air.
I did that one. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Well, remember how did you fight the remember how fighting the hateful in that map?
Yes.
Well, in that same place. Remember, he says there's a door there. Remember that?
I think
There's like a
so.
door there
Yeah.
to unlock. Yes. Well, that door. It's a side mission,
Mhm.
basically. You find a key for it, and then you freeze. You open the door, sound the horn, and then turns out there's a whale underwater, like a big fucking whale, like
Hmm.
a really really big whale, just chained up.
Hmm.
And you gotta free it.
I didn't
That
do
that
that one.
yeah, I was told about it.
I did the librarian quests
Ah, that was
with
cool.
Mimir. Yeah, that was a good one. Um,
I recommend you do the whale one though. That's good shit. Narratively,
yeah.
it's good shit. Although I'd say that doing it after you beat the game is kind of like jarring. It's kind of like a setback because it feels like a very important side mission to do before the game,
Hmm.
given what the characters learn about themselves and how they develop. But yeah, I recommend you do it anyway. It's pretty nice to do.
Yeah. Can't really remember any of the other side quests I did.
I'm 100%.
I did all the ones that don't require you to like go looking for things. Anything that got can you can track on the map.
Right. Basically, the ones that they said, "Hey, want to do? Hey, can you do this for me?" Like, sure.
Yeah, I did those. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the most satisfying one for me to do was Freya's,
Yeah.
and it's probably because you got a big cutscene for doing it. There's a few of those in this game. There's a few of
Yeah.
those.
No, there's cousins dedicated to stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, and you know it's a cutscene when your UI goes away.
Yeah.
Which okay, let's talk about that. The big reticle in the middle of your screen in cutscenes at times. How do you feel about that?
The what?
So when you were in like IGCs or like just like mid gameplay cutscenes, there would be UI on your screen. Like I had the reticle on the middle of my screen, like at all times, except for when it was cutscenes.
I don't remember. Is that there, like for everyone?
It's been there for me. I haven't had a chance to look at other people playing the game because I've just been so focused on playing the game myself. But I could
Yeah.
I could just be this could just be a me thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think I noticed anything on my screen like that.
Yeah. It was distracting at times, but when it went away, I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, cutscene time. Yeah.
I got a few glitches in cutscenes. I'd say that.
Um, I got a glitch in gameplay. I think I have a clip of it on my PS5 because I played on PS5. You played on PS4.
Mm.
I have a clip of me fighting a boss, and then when I went to do the finisher on the boss, the model for the boss went away. So Kratos is just doing this violent ass
That
animation to nothing.
that happened to me with Heimdall.
Oh, really?
I had to restart.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
For me, it was on a mini boss. It was one of the Dreki.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of glitches in enemy encounters, and it wasn't like game breaking, but a lot of it was that the enemies weren't spawning in time, or that they were spawning in, but the model wasn't showing up, so they were like invisible for like five
Oh,
seconds.
I saw that a bunch in game in certain cutscenes where like models would blink out of existence for like a single frame and come back to load in a new model.
Dude, when
Which that happened in the last game too. That happens when you fight Hresfelger, the dragon.
oh yeah,
But it's very noticeable in this game as well.
jumping ahead, but when Brock died and Cindy was holding him and he disappeared, I thought that was the game glitching up for a second. Like, what the fuck just happened?
I also thought that, but that's just
I,
apparently that's just what it looks like for them to step into the realm between realms.
but dude, the funny thing is, I kind of laughed at it. Like, it was, it, it
It
broke the immersion for me a little bit. Like, oh, I felt kind of bad for laughing. Like, oh, this is a really sad scene. I'm sorry.
yeah. Uh, which we've been touching on the story. Do you want to just go full delve into it, or do you still got more
Mm,
you want to say about the gameplay before we move on?
um, the story bosses are better than the ones in the war in the first game. I'll say that.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't get to fight a troll every 5 second
Oh, thank God.
or a
Oh, I
fire
get, I get.
ancient. Oh,
He didn't mention the enemy.
that was a great bit about the trolls.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
remember at the beginning of the game when you kill a troll in 5 seconds and you never see another troll for the rest of the game?
You can find him in Midgard. You can fight one in
Okay,
Midgard.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I was so happy that there weren't recycled bosses or like too many
No,
recycled enemies. There was just variety.
there's a few Dreki mini bosses, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else is pretty unique. You know, there's a good spout of enemy variety.
Mm.
It was a little annoying that you could fight like every kind of every enemy everywhere except for Midgard.
At first, I was complimenting the game like, oh, they're not everywhere, and then I saw the monkeys in Alfheim. I call the reptiles in lavatory or monkeys. By the way, they look like monkeys. But yeah, I was complimenting them over that fact, and then there they were in Alfheim. I was like, ah, damn it, and then
Unfortunate.
enemies.
Yeah, no, the enemy variety is much better.
Oh, I
It's
talked to a
much
friend of
better.
mine. I talked to a friend of mine about the light and dark elves.
Mhm.
Which do you like fighting more?
Light elves.
Mm, I agree because they don't blind you.
It's that, and I really like the way some of the light elves really force you to focus on your parrying and focus on maneuvering around them because they are very fast and you can parry them, and the game
What
makes it
the
very obvious that you can.
what does it for me is the part where a dark elf charges at you and you fucking block him with your shield and then gives you time to press L1 again to
Mhm.
knock him back. It's just really epic.
Yeah. Light elves are more fun.
I would say so.
Yeah. Um.
Also, you can tell them apart too, because dark elves
Yeah.
like from a racism, but from a lower class dark elf to a bigger class, you can barely tell them apart,
Mhm.
and you'll realize once they fucking hit you, and then you'll know the difference by then.
Dude, I didn't even realize or even know that that dark elf you kill in Elfheim, the one that says like you've made a big mistake,
Right,
that was the king of the dark elves.
right. I'm
I didn't
glad
know. I
I
don't
I
remember if
was
that was even said.
no, they didn't say it, but because you
But in
didn't
this
know.
game, they act like you just know. And I was like, when did we learn this information?
No, I think it was more like like Atreus told Tyr, and then he was like, "Oh, that was the Dark Elf King."
Mm.
Fuck.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. The fact that it was referencing the old game makes it feel like a new game.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like the light elves more.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say I'm pretty satisfied with the combat overall. It is a step up, but there
Mhm.
are still prevalent issues from the first game.
There's a
Ma-
lot of variety. They cleaned up a lot of the combat and they made it a lot more fun to fight things. But the camera and the unfortunate enemy attack patterns and just their general AI, I guess. Maybe no, AI is not the right word. Um,
Enemy design.
yeah, the enemy design and the attack patterns and the way combat works and the camera. It it doesn't. It's got things holding it back, but it's still
Yeah,
great combat in my opinion.
I I, I I give the combat like a 7.
It's good combat and it's fun, which is really all that matters.
It's
And
faster too.
yeah, it's a lot faster.
More fast. Yeah,
Yeah,
more fast paced. Helps that not to say Atreus was useless in the first game, but like and allies are pretty
very
handy.
useful.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Help. It's uh what's her name?
Ingerbota,
No, 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 no.
Freya,
Uh, no.
Ludna.
Thrud.
Oh, Thrud.
Thrud was the most useful companion ever.
And you never had to command her once.
Nope. She just knew what she was doing,
Yeah.
and it helps that
Oh, Ingrid was cool too. I liked
I think
Ingrid.
it was great. But
Yeah.
what I mean by that is that Thrud, for some fucking reason, she had the most enemy effects with stun with her lightning.
Yeah, she had
Had the
lightning.
most lightning, the most ranged area attacks. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're so good.
So can I have you for the whole game?
Can I control you? Because the things that I would do with you.
I didn't
Thor
like the
was
way you
cool
said
too.
that.
I don't like it either, but
Oh, Thor was cool too. Thor killed shit immediately.
I
I felt
yeah,
like he just killed shit on his own.
he did. I guess with him, it's probably worth going to the story now,
I mean, where do you want to start? You want to start right at the beginning?
huh?
Or do you want to
I
just
don't feel
kind of
like
bounce around?
uh I think I'm good bouncing around.
Okay.
Recapping, it's a long fucking game.
It's a very
It's a
long
long one
game,
to recap.
and it's going to be hard to remember everything. Um,
But there's a thing that I want to start with that came from the first game, that being Atreus and Thor and Kratos.
yeah.
Man, I love
Man,
this
I
really. Yeah.
love their relationship.
Hmm.
Like right from the start, when you see that Kratos has a much softer edge to him.
Hmm.
I know there's going to be a lot of people that have a very violent reaction to seeing a very soft Kratos. And to that, I say, did you play the last game?
Play the yeah.
you also got to remember 3 years have passed between games, like in
Was
story.
it was it was it 3 years?
Yeah, remember at the end of
I,
the first game where they give the one cut at the whole entire game, and it goes 3 years later. Smash cut to
uh,
Thor shows up.
I thought it was longer,
No, it
like
was 3 years.
5 or 4.
It only feels longer because Sonny Soljek or Soljek is a lot older. He was 10 when he first started filming his stuff for God of War in
He's
2014, 2015, and
uh,
it's 2022. So he's nearly 10 years older.
yeah.
Like he's a teenager now.
I guess the Atreus is like 14.
Yeah, in this game he's supposed to be like I think closer to 18. Um but I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, then he must have been a lot older in God of War 1 than I thought he
Yeah,
was.
he must have been like 12 or something.
Yeah,
12 or 14.
I'm gonna assume he's 16,
Yeah. I think 16 is safe.
just to be safe.
To be safe, he's like 16.
Yeah.
Um, and he's doing shit on his own.
Mhm.
Like right out the gate, I was like, oh, he doesn't have to go on my back when we climb
I
up
mean,
things.
man, I just love the first cutscene overall. It's just about a minute of Kratos in silence at a fire, looking
Yep.
at the pouch that was face ashes.
And he smiles at it, or I think he smiles at
Smile.
it.
He just has a lot of reactions to it.
Yep.
Like he obviously misses his wife.
Yep.
Just a lot of contemplating. It's great stuff.
Yeah. And then
Just I was just
Atreus
falling in
walks
love.
in with a deer,
Hmm.
all on his own.
On
And
his own.
what's great about that is when he goes to put the Kratos naturally goes to like help him put the deer away, and he's already on it.
Yeah, he says, I'll take the deer. Oh,
And Atreus is already walking away with it. And
yeah,
there's like this minute long pause where Kratos just like kind of looks, contemplates, and then has like a little smile of like, I
a
didn't
little
have to
like,
tell him.
yeah.
He's like, okay, he's got it.
There's a lot going through with that too, because it's like, yeah, my son's he's doing good. He
Did you
can
read the
take
lore?
care of
Did you read the
himself.
lore?
I've read the lore occasionally here and there.
Okay. I read it whenever I could. Because it gives you so much context
There is
to
a lot,
where
yeah. I
Kratos
love
is mentally.
I love the lore.
It's like
Good
if you
stuff.
read shit, you read that like Kratos is like, I'm so fucking proud of the way like the man Atreus is becoming.
I did read that one. I
That
the
one
one the,
just
one-
gave me such a good smile.
the one with Atreus, the woman mirror is great.
Oh yeah, where he's like, I've known a few people that I would call friend,
Brother. Yeah.
brother especially, but I've grown to, you know, appreciate his wisdom and his counsel and require him. And the way they talk to each other, they're essentially like co-parenting. It's
Dude,
great.
I had a visible when he called him brother and then he said his name, like, oh my god.
Yep. And
Good
at the
stuff.
end of the game, when Atreus is like I really need you to hear this, Mimir. You're like my second dad. And Mimir's like, oh, I love you too, lad.
I love you too, lad. I love you too, little brother.
Yeah. I
Good
was like,
stuff.
oh,
Oh,
great. It's great that like he doesn't refer to him as head. He calls him by his name, Mimir,
Mimir or brother?
or brother. And and also, Christopher Judge even mentioned this in his like they did like a big behind the scenes about like becoming Kratos, where they spoke to every language's Kratos actor. And Christopher
Yep.
Judge said that like Kratos has been actively, you know, like he's acknowledging his son, and he's referring to him in certain ways. So the entire game he only refers to him as son or Atreus,
Until one point.
until one point where Atreus fucks up so bad, where when the camera pans over to Kratos standing in the doorway going, "Boy," I audibly went, "Oh
Oh
shit!"
shit.
There was 2 points in this game where I gasped, and that was one, and the other was when Tyr turns out to be Odin and stabs
Oh
Brock. I
man.
went,
What a fucking twist.
which apparently, according to the director of that game, they didn't decide on that until like pretty far into development.
Good choice.
Where one of the writers was like, because they have a writing staff, and if you watch the credits, they had a very big writing staff.
There were like seven
Yeah, there was like
writers in this
7
game.
writers, and there was, and apparently one of them was just like, what if? Oh no, it was the director. The director said, "What if Tyr isn't really Tyr if he's Odin?" And
Mm?
they were like, "Huh?" Like they had like a weird reaction to it, like what? And he said,
Aw,
"Well, then it would make sense because now it would make sense how Odin is a step ahead of everybody because he already knows. If
yeah,
Odin is Tyr, that's how he gets the jump over everybody. That's how they can't really get ahead of him." And so when fucking Tyr turns around and stabs Brock,
oh
I
man,
gasped. Which, dude, that fucking hit me.
it did.
When Sindri's like, "We can get you to the lake," and he goes, "I know what you've done."
I know what you've done.
And he's like,
You
"It's our
gotta just got to let go.
yeah."
Brock, man.
Which, let's talk about Brock and Sindri.
Mm.
The
Especially,
way they spent so much time on them,
yeah,
especially Sindri. Dude, my heart fucking broke when Sindri goes, "Get the fuck out of my sight."
yeah.
And he doesn't change for the rest of the game.
Nope.
There's no satisfying conclusion to that story. And it was just
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
We'll see. We'll see that in the next game. There will be a next game.
Which I want to talk about my first story complaint.
All right.
I wish, this might be controversial. I wish Brock's funeral was before the final battle. Now, let me go grab my phone because I wrote down why I, I, I think this way. Give me one moment.
I didn't agree.
Your
But
silence is deafening.
I was gonna tell the audience I didn't agree, but I want to see what you got first.
Um, I wrote, I love the true ending of the game is Brock's funeral. Although I feel that should have been something you do before the final battle, I understand how everything was coming together in the end, and to add one more rest point before capping off the game would feel like a cop out in some way. But having his funeral before the final battle with Odin could have made the ending that much more impactful and emotional. Not that it isn't already, but it could have been stronger if just a little more oomph was added to it by making Brock's funeral take place before Ragnarok. I mean this by how powerful it would have been to end the game with Atreus walking away, and then you continue on as you would have. Like, I mean, the game's ending itself just put Brock's funeral before Ragnarok,
I see. I see.
because I think of how powerful that ending was with Atreus walking away and going on his own, and Kratos delivering that line, uh, "Loki must go, Atreus will remain."
Mm.
That shit, man.
Choke. That made my throat swell.
Yeah, there was 2 points in this game where I was just like, it didn't happen. I didn't cry, but I was
Oh,
just like, it hit me right in the gut, and it was one was the first time Atreus hugs Kratos, when Atreus has that big fuck up with Garm, and all he manages to do when he sees his dad is just hug him,
yeah. What do I call you?
and it's such a long hug. And you notice that Kratos lets go at some point because he assumes Atreus is gonna let go, but he doesn't, so
Yeah.
he keeps holding on.
Mhm.
And then the second hug at the end of the game
Oh man.
was what
The,
really
the
got
final
me.
hug.
Yeah, and that the way Christopher Judge says that, the Loki must go, Atreus will remain. I was like,
Right.
holy shit.
Uh, there's more than two for me, or like moments making me swell,
Mhm.
making my throat swell. The one for me was one of them was Mimir figuring out the riddle.
A hole.
Oh,
What gets bigger the more you take away? A hole
oh, that was the last line
of the
in the game
game.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, the last line of the game is, what gets bigger the more you take away? A hole. Damn.
but onto your thing, I really love that ending, like final ending for
Yeah,
the
no,
game.
it's a good ending. I just imagine how much stronger the ending would have been if you ended on the
On the
core of the
note,
story, which is Atreus and Kratos' relationship, and Kratos' arc of letting go and opening his heart to things, not closing his heart to it.
yeah,
Um,
I see what you mean.
but that's my first story complaint. The other one is, I think, much more significant, uh, which we'll get to, I think, eventually.
Sure.
How do you feel about Faye?
I like her. I like Faye. I like what they did with her in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
I like Faye.
yeah,
It
I'm
it makes
glad.
sense where Atreus gets his personality.
Indeed,
Uh,
I can understand. It makes you understand why Kratos loved her
yeah,
the way she did. The way he did. Yeah,
she didn't judge him for anything. She made fun of him, but she didn't judge him.
yeah. Playfully,
And she
play with him.
genuinely loved him for who he was,
Hmm.
and he felt the same.
Yeah,
She made him feel like he could do it again, which was something that is obviously very hard for him.
yeah, man.
And when she hits the line, it was she. By the way, Deborah Ann Wolf, who plays Faye, she hit the "be better" line really hard. Like when she
Hmm.
goes, "We must be better."
You must be
It's
better.
like now I know why he says it the way he does because he
Well,
learned it from her.
no, actually, he learned from Zeus.
Not sure he did learn it from it,
Yeah,
but the way like she hits that and the way like
indeed.
it
Yeah.
internalizes in him, I was like, this is why he very much so pushes this mantra of "be better" to Atreus,
Mhm.
which the director said that the actually Kratos' arc in this game, which is him of letting go and all that, opening his heart, is actually he's relearning what it means for him to be better. Because
Yeah,
in the last game, he was very much pushing to Atreus like be better.
yeah.
In this game, he knows what be better is, but he's got to teach himself how to be better.
Mhm. Don't let your. I just love the overarching theme of this game, and even combined with the last, just like a lot that has to say about fatherhood, the legacy
Mhm.
that you leave behind. Don't let your pacify you. Make
Yep.
your own destiny.
Yep. Do
Just
it
a
as
lot of good stuff.
necessary, not because it is written.
Yeah.
The character work in this game is fantastic.
My God, Thor,
Um,
man, what a
Dude.
character.
So okay, I'm gonna see if I sound crazy. Am I fucking crazy for thinking that at many points Thor sounded like fucking Josh Brolin?
I see what you mean. He
There
did.
was the way he said certain things. I was like, Josh,
He did.
and then when he like grumbled and shit, I was like, they like stunt cast Josh Brolin, but no, it's Ryan Hurst who's doing a
Yeah,
fantastic job.
absolutely, man. And it's not a lot of Thor in the game,
No,
but
I
they do
that's a
so
kind of
much with him.
that's kind of a soft spot for me because I wish we could have gotten more Thor just to make his death a little more impactful.
Dude, they got me. I was like, no.
I was like, for me, it got to the point where as soon as he like looked at Odin and he put Mjolnir down, I was like, okay, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's a kind of small thing. Sometimes the story's a little predictable. I don't know if I don't know if it was for you. There were points where I was like, okay, I can kind of see where this is gonna go. And one of
And
them
say,
was um with Thor's death. I was like, yeah, okay. I just
I'm not
wish
sure. I honestly never expected Odin to fucking kill his own son. I know with everything they told us about Odin, I
Mhm.
just didn't see that moment happening.
the way he treated Thor. I was like, yeah, no, he doesn't.
Oh
He
man.
treats him like a coworker.
Yeah.
He doesn't treat him like a son. And I was like, yeah,
I
Odin can make up any form of like, oh, he made it this way. I'm like, you just did it because you
with
could.
with me, it was more like what the game was telling me about fatherhood and everything like
Yeah,
that. I didn't expect something like that. Where even though he treated his son like shit most of the time, there wasn't a moment where I thought, oh, he's gonna kill him. Obviously, like no,
yeah.
Damn,
which
yeah.
Odin was the most impressive character to me in terms of like the Aesir. Odin, I really liked Odin.
Odin's fantastic.
He's great.
Mhm.
They really went all in the knowledge aspect of Odin in Norse mythology.
Yeah, he
Is
does
that
such a
he's
great
a
job.
lore keeper. His biggest flaw is that he wants to know everything.
Yeah, and no,
His
no,
obsession with knowledge is what fucks over everything.
yeah, no one else really matters in the aspect. It's just knowledge. I gotta learn
Just the
everything.
knowledge. I gotta know. Which at the end of the game, where he's like, I won't stop. I have to know
Why
what's
did you
going
say
to
that?
happen. And he's
Why
like,
did you
why
say
did you
that?
say that?
Like, yeah, Atreus just doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to, kill him.
Yeah. Despite how much Freya wanted to.
Well, even in the end, she was like, I don't know.
It's like I thought of this for years, but now I don't know.
Yeah, I don't need it.
I what I didn't expect coming was for Sindri to fucking grab the marble and
That that
smash it.
that was kind of funny to me. Like, yes, coming with the frame. Like, oh, okay, there you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has a lot to do. I think that's another reason what the ending was the way it was.
Mhm.
Even though Sindri got his revenge, she got
No satisfaction from it.
no satisfaction, no finality, yeah, nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's why the ending works for me so much because of that moment. Because it's not gonna having the funeral and have that happen. It's not gonna be like,
Yeah.
that's
I understand, yeah. I understand why it's placed where it is and why that works. I just there's something for me, I just feel like there's so much more power in ending with Atreus,
I,
which
I I think another thing is like the funeral couldn't take place so much before the events, giving that there was so much happening with them having to reunite, like get an army,
yeah.
Atreus
But
having to mourn.
you also forget that there is a big part where they do just mourn. Um, so there could have been some extra time. You
I
know,
wouldn't say it was too long.
it wasn't very long, but you
And
definitely could have
let's not
extended it a
forget,
bit.
also word didn't get around to that Brock was dead.
True.
Yeah,
Ludna knew immediately.
yeah,
Um, which okay, let's talk about Freyr. Yeah.
Freyr. Oh yeah, sure.
Um, I don't really know how to feel about Freyr.
I like Freyr.
I like his attitude. Um, you don't spend enough time with him,
None, not particularly.
which is why I'm I really don't care that he died. Like when he sacrificed himself in the end, I was
I
like, "Oh, I'm
I
supposed to
do. I,
care?"
I, I like I liked him.
Because you don't spend enough time with him, especially him with Freya. You don't spend enough
It's
time.
I wouldn't say it's effective as Thor with how little time he has,
Yeah,
but they do so much with him.
because you
But
get you get to understand that entire relationship very quickly,
yeah, I'd say
and you
there's
get to spend enough time with the other Aesir and the other people in Thor's family, like Thrud and Sif and Odin, that when Thor dies, it makes an impact.
yeah.
But when Freyr dies, I didn't spend enough time with him. Like you meet him in Vanaheim, and then he fucks off for the rest of the game until the end, where you have to go save him, and then you get some time with him before he makes his grand sacrifice.
I understood his character enough for me to care for him, especially in the scene where him and Freya apologize to each other. That scene was very good,
You
by the
know,
way.
that scene is great. I just wish we could have gotten more after that, in between,
No, it's
before like
fair.
the final scene with him.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, I got it.
And
I
that same criticism applies to, Big Veer's sacrifice, quote unquote.
I
Like the everything about that was just like, okay, I
yeah,
don't
no,
care. I
that
don't
that that one
care.
was. I was like, who are you?
I'm like, I know who you are, but why am I supposed to care? Like, I think I literally out loud said, "Oh, I'm supposed to care,"
Oh,
and that's what I meant when I was like, this game commits some cardinal sins of storytelling. When you're gonna have a character make a big sacrifice, you need to have spent enough time for that character for that sacrifice to be impactful.
yeah. They weren't bad per se, but they were not impactful. Like I didn't
I
have
didn't
a
care. I
oh
didn't have
yeah.
a reaction. You're supposed to have a reaction, and for me, my reaction was, oh, I'm supposed to care. But I understand that is me. You know, some other people will definitely have a reaction to
I
characters like
was
Big
more
Veer and
enlightened.
especially Freyr.
Uh, I was a lot more enlightened with what the characters felt about the moment. Like
Mhm.
yeah, I understand what characters would be sad over Freyr or Big Bear dying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's for me. I just didn't care, and that was my biggest problem with those moments. Another one for me that was like just kind of mild. You remember when you're fighting Gryla and Atreus and Angerboda like go under like a table into a hole, and then Gryla steps under the table, and I'm like, she can just grab me right now.
You can go to her and
Oh, I did.
yeah, you
I did.
she hits you like it's funny.
Yeah. But I'm just like, everything is telling me that she can just move forward a few inches and grab my ass.
Well, she wants him to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's kind of antagonizing. She's like scratching at you, and I'm just like, you can just get me. Why are you just sitting here? That's a small thing. That was just a bother me in the moment kind of thing, and then I forgot about it. But yeah.
I love what they did with Freya.
Oh, Freya, yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
She annoyed me a bit when you're getting in Vanaheim. Um, but it all cleared up. And then she proceeded to annoy me a bit again later.
Always was that.
When she's just like, "We got to do the war thing, Kratos. We got to do the war. We got to kill. We got to war, 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 war." I was like, "Oh my god, he doesn't want war. Let him find his way."
Trying to encourage him, man.
Yeah,
I mean, everything with her doing that is in line with her character, so
I
I'm fine
know.
with it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop from annoying me, but it is what it
Uh,
is. Um, yeah, no, Freya's great though.
mhm.
I mean, what they
Yeah,
did with her
I
was
love
great.
I love everything about that. Like coming to reconciliation with Kratos,
Hmm.
just good stuff.
And it
Like
pairs really well with with her going to the where her ceremony was for her wedding with Odin.
yeah, I just really love the fact that she she doesn't forgive him quite there, but she doesn't hate him. She
Yeah,
understands. She understands that that he's right. There will be nothing for me killing you, and it's not really your fault either.
yeah,
You did what you could. And the fact that Kratos apologizes to her anyway
yeah,
for taking the choice away from her, that's such good shit.
yeah. When he goes like, "I don't regret killing Balder. I made the correct choice. But
I took it away from you.
if it comes again, I will not deny you the choice."
Yeah. Well, he also see he never should have done it in the first. Well, he shouldn't have denied her the choice, but he does not regret saving her.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Just good fucking shit, man.
One thing that really got to me with Freya was when he's like, "Can you forgive me?" Kratos is like, "Can you forgive me?" And she goes, "I can't forgive you, but I can't kill you either. And
Mhm.
frankly, I don't think I can." Like, she was like, I don't think I can do either.
Yeah,
I can't forgive you. I can't kill you." And that whole scene was just like, okay, great. This is a good way to resolve this.
love the emphasis in that scene where she was getting visibly emotional for tearing the roots that kept her trapped
Yeah.
in Midgard. Like that was good shit because yeah, she trapped for many years, centuries, possibly in one realm, no
Hmm.
without no freedom. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah. And when she took the noose and used it at the end, I was like, that's pretty great. Because when she
Yeah.
first took the noose, I was like, all right, how's this gonna come back? And when she just pops out the corner with the noose, I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, fuck him up.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
Mhm.
this is in a lot of God of War games, but even 2018, but there's a lot of things just happen in the story to further move along the plot. Like the dwarves or have a lot of contrived stuff that was just move the plot forward. Like as close as it was getting the spear, it's kind of insane that they just happen to have an infinite number or ring that just an infinite number of other rings
Yeah.
underground their basement for, and that happens to make a spear also.
Yeah. That happens to make
Freya's,
a spear by taking it to a mermaid.
mhm. Yeah, Freya said it best. Dwarf magic makes no sense.
Yeah. Ugh. Which was it was very funny to have that, but I was like, yeah, no, this dwarf shit is really just coming out of their ass.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Also,
Um.
it's not like I missed anything from them doing this, but I really wish that a lot of the dialogue wasn't too focused on gameplay sections. You know
How
what I
do you
mean?
mean?
Well,
Give me an example because I think I know what you mean, but
it's a lot of it, but one that I didn't like a lot was when Kratos and Atreus revealed to each other that they knew that he was going to die. That was like prophesized.
oh
I wish
yes,
that
and it's
was a
just
cutscene.
happening randomly
Hmm. I
in
wish that was a cutscene.
yeah. No, okay, I get that.
Yeah, it's a lot. Happens a lot in the game, but not to the point where it's distracting. Because the dialogue still happens, thankfully. It's not interrupted.
Yeah.
'Cause it's important stuff. You wouldn't want it to be interrupted, and it's good dialogue too. But I just wish some of it was dedicated to cutscenes.
Yeah. Um. Did you ever get any dialogue that got like broken?
Uh,
Because I had a moment where Atreus just kept saying, "The door is over here." I already ran past the door. The door is over here.
I
I was
think I
like,
did get
you
a
okay,
few of those.
Atreus?"
I also did get a few moments where they were where a character was speaking, and then just mid sentence, uh, another character does
Five other lines of dialogue. Yeah.
yeah, like I replies to that very
Yeah.
like quote like he's not even they're not done speaking. What are you doing?
Yeah. At that
Uh,
point, I was very much hoping for the Final Fantasy VII remake, just text bar in the corner to show up to show that like multiple people are talking.
yeah,
Um,
I guess they gotta patch that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ah man, another
like,
cutscene that really got me a lot was actually in pretty much in the end. Um, a lot of this is due to performance,
mhm.
but it's when he
Christopher
looks.
Judge.
Oh, he better fucking win.
Hmm.
I want to go otherwise. But it was when he looked behind the shrine, under
Oh
the shrine,
yes.
and he saw himself in an image of being praised by people, being a god that's being praised, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He was just getting so overwhelmed by the fact that he will be like
Yeah.
looked at
Which,
and love.
by the way, they shot that scene twice only
Well, yeah.
because Christopher Judge said he was just gonna put everything into it for the first two tries, and then he wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, dude.
And so they did it in two takes, and then you see what you got
Hmm.
because it was just very. It took a lot out of him, like the same way like when he was doing this scene where he gets the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah.
That took a shit ton out of him, so he could only do it so many times.
Hmm.
And when he was doing the scene where he sees the shrine, he was like, I can only do this a couple times. I only got a couple in me because I'm going to put everything into it. And so he did.
Boy did he.
The way his hand shakes and the way his face just, his eyes open wide and his like mouth is just shaking. His lips
Yeah,
are
man.
quivering. I was just like, holy shit. There's a lot of moments of that in this game where you just see his lips quivering. Like you can see
Kratos,
everything going through his mind and his face.
Kratos goes very emotional in this game.
Yeah. Which was
Like
nice to see.
you get glimpses, you get tiny, like the tiniest glimpses of it in 2018.
Yep.
More notably, it's the part after he burned Faye
Yeah,
for
when he puts
ashes.
the ashes into the pouch and he smiles.
Like, I would call it a smile. It's more like him looking somberly, like
He does. If you look, he does have like a bit of a smirk,
yeah,
like
yeah.
of
It's
a
it's
like
a
he's like
something like that.
happily, reminiscing.
Yeah, and it just instantly like turns back to stoic,
Yeah,
like oh,
and then
good stuff. But like,
he smiles slightly when Atreus goes ah when he
but
drinks the Lemnos wine.
yeah, and then in the game in Ragnarok, he's struggling to go back to being stoic.
Yeah, He's
good stuff.
struggling to accept that he's changed,
Yeah,
and then letting it just be. Like he's more talkative in this game. He kind of rolls with the punches and makes jokes and stuff like that,
yeah.
which was weird to see him kind of like playing off of other people.
He's really changed.
He's really changed. Um,
Actually, if you look at the first three God of War games, he's actually pretty sarcastic at times. Like in God of War 3, it's fun as fuck. Where the Smith god called Hephaestus, he basically gives him a vague answer as to something that he needs, and when Kratos is walking away, he's like, "You have been very helpful, Hephaestus." Well, shrugging, like, "Fuck's sake, this guy."
mhm,
It's good stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
Which his new mindset perfectly explains why he likes Brock so much.
mhm.
He's like, he speaks plain.
He speaks plain.
And
Yep.
I'm like, there you go. That's all you need. Because Brock sees plain and speaks plain, says what he means, that just like, yep, I get it.
Yep.
I like this guy. Which is why he takes Brock over Sindri to go to the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, he also fucking hates Sindri for lying to
Yeah.
him, or like keeping, taking his son, all that
He
stuff.
doesn't hate Sindri
Well,
if you
doesn't
read,
hate.
yeah,
He's just
yeah.
really angry at him. He's just mad at him.
Which if you read the lore, he's like, I'm annoyed, but I'm okay. I'm happy it was him watching
Yes.
Atreus. I'm happy there was somebody watching him and that it was Sindri.
Yeah.
Which yeah, Sindri, man.
Oh man, poor
Holy
Sindri.
shit. Felt so
Props to
bad for him.
yeah, props to the actor. He
Yeah,
brought it out.
when he goes like, you took I let you into my home, I let you sleep, I watched your back for years, and like
He just kept
you
taking.
harmed me and you kept taking and taking, and now my brother is dead.
Yeah.
And like to really kick it in when Mimir's like, he doesn't even have a soul. He doesn't even get to go to an afterlife because he has no soul.
Yeah.
Like he's just not allowed.
Oh, it's so sad.
He doesn't get to go to Valhalla or Helheim. He's just gone.
He's
And
gone.
like
He went.
that he's just gone. And it was just like so fucking heartbreaking
Hmm.
for Sindri to just that's it.
Well, Sindri knew
Yeah.
beforehand because
What gives you Sindri? And he tells you in this game, it's like, yeah, no, Brock died years ago.
fuck's sake, that was also just
That
casual
was in yeah,
dialogue.
casual dialogue.
God damn it, that should be a cutscene too.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, no, Brock died years ago and I couldn't take it.
Oh,
And
annoying.
yeah. Which fun fact, the director said that Corey only gave them 3 mandates about Ragnarok's story. He said Ragnarok has to happen. Atreus has to leave at the end of the story, and Brock has to die.
Oh man,
And
bastard. Fuck you.
when
Fuck
they
you,
asked
Corey.
him why Brock, he goes, Brock is the family dog.
He is.
I was like, oh, you fucking bastard, Corey. You fucking bastard.
Piece of shit. I hate you.
Damn it, Corey.
Uh,
Which, yeah, generally, like the writing, it doesn't feel like Corey wrote it, but yet it feels like Corey wrote it. In a good way. In a good way.
yeah.
That's definitely how you do switching writers.
Oh yeah, man. I want these people to do everything.
Yeah.
Just work on more stuff.
They did a very good job with the story. It was
Yeah.
very satisfying. And with it like technically the story is over. You know, the Norse story is technically over. There's still stuff to do here. Like
Yeah.
there's an entire post game. You can technically tell another story with Kratos. But
Yeah.
if
You
they
could.
really want to continue, you can go off with Atreus and see what he's
I
doing.
definitely felt like the ending, uh, the first one was a lot more indicative of the fact that there was more to do. But
Hmm.
beyond that, which made me think, oh, it's gonna be a new game, isn't there? I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of that will focus more on a trace, though. or at least his story
Yeah,
finding the
because he
giants.
still has
Probably.
his story to tell with Ingerboda.
Hmm.
There's unfinished threads with what's going on with Thrud and Sif and the Asgardians. So
Yeah,
there's just
that is.
there's story to tell if they
It's
want to
all.
continue.
Yeah, it's all a probably because I don't know. Maybe they will go to Egypt one day eventually.
I mean, they could do a Miles Morales
They.
thing and make a smaller game with Atreus, or a smaller game with Kratos, and then the bigger game is with either one.
Yeah. They do reference Egypt. Like
I heard,
Tier
yeah,
has.
they reference Egypt
Yeah,
and
Tier has been to.
China.
He's been to Greek.
He's been to Greece, he's been to
Yeah.
Egypt, and he's been to China.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very profitable formula for Santa Monica to use this thing. They
Hmm.
make money,
If they
so
want to do it.
I'd say they. I don't see them giving this up anytime soon.
Yeah,
There's probably like 3 more games in hand for them to make.
yeah. I would have thought that they would have ended the story in 3 games, but they ended it in 2.
Yeah, Kratos didn't fucking die.
Kratos
Oh my
didn't
god,
fucking die.
it was all a lie.
Yeah,
Thank you, Faye.
yeah. Which, yeah,
Look,
that was a big reveal at the end that, like, Faye said fuck prophecy.
yeah,
Because, like, at the end of the first game, you think that, like, she told you to go to Jotunheim because she knew all this shit would happen.
hmm
And in the reality is, she knew all this would happen, and she said, fuck that. Because if you look at the prophecy that she was told, there's shit like Atreus and Kratos fighting each other,
yeah. Well, that technically did happen for like a
which
little bit.
technically did happen, but not really.
Yeah.
Because they defied fate. And
Well,
when
I
Kratos,
actually, I was gonna say I actually meant that in 2018, where Atreus was getting really power hungry and egotistical, and he
oh, you
shot
mean
Kratos with an
the
arrow.
worst part of that game?
Oh, yeah, probably.
The, the I love that game. That switch, it's a fucking light switch.
It's
That
it's
Atreus is such a douchebag
it is too quick.
immediately,
It is
and
too
then
quick.
it's like also a light switch that he just goes back to being his normal self. I was just like, that's
Well,
just bullshit. I
it
know
it it,
kids are kids, but they're not like that. They're not that quick.
it is a little too quick for Atreus to switch at first and be a dick and shit talk his mom.
Yeah.
But getting humbled immediately, I'm fine with that.
I mean, getting humbled immediately was fine, but the fact that it
Yeah.
was just such a light switch.
That you fucking prick. Fuck you, kid.
Like, even if you got humbled like that, you would still take a minute, to kind of readjust. It would not be immediate.
I was pretty sure he did take a minute, or like he like Kratos wasn't happy with him for like a long time during the whole Helheim
Mhm.
sequence. So after that, they were like, "We swear, we swear." But yeah, the diversion between diversion is yeah, the diversion between Kratos and Atreus, like having conflict in here in God of Ragnarok, felt very informed and well done
Mhm.
because it's a lot of it to do
None of
with the
it,
fact that
none of it was forced conflict.
yeah, they can't. The another thing would have said they can't quite communicate with each other on what's happening, even though they both know the truth. But the problem is that they don't want to reveal the truth because they're scared, you know.
Mhm.
So I was a okay with everything that happened in the game.
Yeah. None of that felt particularly like contrived or anything.
Mm-hmm.
For me, there definitely were like certain predictable aspects, but yeah, other than that, the story's pretty
You know
tipped
what I
up.
didn't? Yeah, you know what I didn't predict? I did not predict that they would actually fucking go to war. I'm so glad they committed to the whole war thing.
Mhm.
And another thing, when they were gonna attack Asgard, for a second I thought, are you gonna do a cliffhanger? You fuck. Like with the
Oh,
way everything was set up, like it played the main theme. I'm like,
yeah.
you're not gonna,
End here,
no,
right?
no, don't do it.
Yeah.
And I, for a second, when he stepped into the portal and everything went white, I'm like, no, oh thank God. Oh, that would have been such a
You thought
God of War
they were
two,
gonna pull
God of War two, God of War two, like God of War two, and like that exactly.
you thought they were gonna pull to be continued in God of War Ragnarok for real though.
Yeah, like fucking God of War 2 did this shit where it's like we're gonna attack Mount Olympus and Titan. Oh, the Titans from the past. With Kratos leading them with the bit of Olympus at hand, climbing Mount Olympus, gonna fuck the gods up. Zeus, your son has returned. I bring you to the destruction of Olympus, and then it ends. I thought they were gonna do that. Like, oh no, you brick, fuck you.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, no, it's a very good story. Very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
There's a lot going on too. Just a
there's a
lot,
lot
like
going
with
on.
all the characters, like the Valkyries getting
Which
redeemed and everything.
did you do the Sigrun side quest?
I did.
How fucking cool is it that at the end of the game, if you go speak to Sigrun,
Yes.
talk to her about it?
Mm-hmm. I like the Valkyries. They're so cool.
Yeah.
They're so
Okay.
cool.
Weird thing. For some reason, behind the voice actor says that Sigrun's voice actress changed.
I can't tell.
It's exactly the same,
Yeah.
but
It's
it says that her old voice actress is playing a different Valkyrie.
why.
And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why?
That
Why would
makes
you?
no sense.
Like, I get it if you want to hire her for playing two Valkyries, but why would you switch her out? So I think
Yeah,
voice actors fucked up on that one. Um,
probably.
fun little details. Freyr is played by Brett Dalton.
Mhm.
Um, awesome. I when I first heard his voice, I was like, I know that voice. I was like,
What's his name? Say it again.
Brett Dalton. He was in Agents of Shield and he was in Until Dawn.
Oh,
Yep,
him.
as Mike. Yeah.
Oh my. Nice.
At first when I heard his voice, I was like, Liam.
Uh,
But no, it wasn't Liam.
hey, you know what? I see it now in the face.
Yeah. Um, the actor who plays Odin was that scientist from Man of Steel.
Yes, that I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you.
Yeah.
What are you doing here in a game?
Um, something that threw me off when I first saw Sif, I was like, Ronda Rousey.
Ah,
But I didn't put I'm gonna be real. I didn't put two and two together. That's Elena. That's Elena
Uncharted,
from
Uncharted,
Uncharted.
Elena.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's Uncharted Elena. Yep.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Wow, she's working. Nice. I was so happy.
Yep. Yeah, that's Elena.
It's funny.
Um,
So Elena was, uh, this was Nathan and Sam's mother. Neat.
uh, um, Thrud was really cool.
Yes, she was.
Thrud was really cool.
She was pretty cool.
Yeah, I the hair was a bit ridiculous, but
It fucking was. I don't like why is it half? Why it's like mostly Thor hair and then a
yeah,
quarter of whatever the fuck everything else is.
it was such a like the
That was
rest of the
stupid.
design was good, and then it was just like, what happened there?
Yeah, but it's stuff like that that I want to see, like with Through becoming a Valkyrie. Just a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that I just want to see for like a new God of War game that I wouldn't mind getting.
Why was Skilder there?
Skilder?
You don't even remember Skilder,
I probably do not. Who's
the
that?
Midgardian kid in Asgard.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking, why is he
Uh,
there?
he's just there.
What is the purpose of him?
I guess his purpose was I
To
don't know
give Atreus
a
a perspective,
perspective into my guardians and just normal people, and they needed. I guess they needed someone
but
up close and
but
personal
even
to
Kratos
like.
figures it out without Skilder being there.
Oh no!
But Atreus does tell him.
Yeah.
But Kratos ain't an idiot. He would have
It
been like,
it was just weirder to me that Sif was just holding him.
yeah, out of a random corner.
I know. Apparently, he is friends with Thru and Atreus. I get
Yeah.
that. For like, did she go? Did she know that? I guess she knew that he.
She just kind of knew that Thrud was there and that Atreus was right behind that rock and
So I'm guessing that she knew who he was, and then she went to seek
yeah.
him during all that shebang, and she found him, and then she happened to appear at a perfect time when they were talking about everything else, and then she appeared very dramatically so, and then oh, there she is.
Which to speak on Sif, Thrud, and Thor, did you notice the parallels between Kratos and Atreus?
I believe I did. Yeah, kind of.
where Atreus is Kratos' second chance, Thrud is Thor and Sif's second chance
Yes. Yes.
because they fucked up with Magni and Modi. Because the way like the director said it, he's like they were kind of they wrote it as if they were young. They were young parents who weren't ready to have kids, and they fucked them up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw Thrud as a chance to do it right.
Kratos was essentially a good dad to his daughter.
Yeah,
He was like,
the first thing he says to Thrud, "You fight well."
"You fight well."
Like my father taught me. I know.
I know. I can tell.
I can tell. One of my favorite bits in the game is, "This is for Magni. Even in death, you put him last." The fuck you say?
The fuck you say?
Uh,
Roasting
we
him.
got a
Roasting.
real model dad over here.
I am.
Uh,
Well, hey, don't matter. At least Thor didn't kill his son. Well, he,
yeah.
he gets the XP for he gets to kill his sister. Kratos, he killed his daughter straight up. Just
It's interesting that oh man, what was I thinking? Never mind. Never mind. Thought gone. Like a
oh,
turd in the wind.
bird in the wind.
Yeah, this game start. We didn't even talk about Ingrid Boda. She was cool. I liked
It was
her.
cool. I liked her.
Um, it was cool that it felt like you know how like if you have like a curfew and you stay out a bit too long and you're like, ah, fuck it, they're already gonna be mad that I went
Right.
out like 5 minutes past my curfew. We might as well stay till 3 a.m.
That was definitely what happened between her
Him and Angry
and Atreus.
Boda.
Yeah, and your
It
boat.
uh yeah, no, that they were cool together. I
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was a long ass session too. That was like
Yeah,
2 hours.
it was a bit too long, in my opinion. It kind of meandered a bit. I got to a point where I was like, okay, we can wrap this up.
The whole Buffalo session could have been shorter. That's for sure.
Jesus Christ, could have. Holy shit, that damn yak.
Yeah, I like her whole little arc there where
Yeah,
she's not exactly happy with the fact that she's not that important in the whole story, and that's the end of her. That's her
because
fate.
her thing is that she's accepted the fate,
Yeah,
but she's not okay with it. Like she's accepted it that what it is, but doesn't stop her from being like angry about it because she
that's it for
throughout
her.
like speaking with Atreus, she obviously grows to like him and she wants to spend more time with him.
Yeah,
And you know,
just just a lot more unsatisfied with the fact that that's it for her. There's
that's
nothing
it.
else for her in
So when she gets mad
the
about it,
story,
it's understandable.
and like she appreciates Atreus for giving her more purpose in her life to make write your own destiny.
Yeah. And then when she comes back in the end, he's like, I'm just doing me.
And she saves them.
Yep. And she
Yeah.
takes care of Fenrir.
Oh, Fenrir. Oh man, I was so happy with that with the
Dude,
whole thing.
at the beginning of the game when Fenrir dies, I was so fucking close.
What a great like it's and like
It's
how good
something
are these writers?
like
Uh,
how do you punch yourself harder in the gut than starting a game with a dead wife,
Like that was yeah, that dog.
dead dog?
And that may seem like pretty fucking cheap. Oh, that dog. Oh, who cares? But like just the way they did it, there was a lot of
Yeah,
just
because they set
so
up
much to it.
right at the beginning of the game. This wolf is sick.
Mhm.
The wolf is dying. You understand immediately. The wolf is dying. He's gonna go.
It's just
And
so much behind it with
yeah,
creators trying to distract the son from it, like he did in the first game,
yeah.
distract his son
But
from
he's not. But he
burning his
hasn't.
wife.
At this point, he's still not going close your heart to it. He's not telling him to close his heart.
Yeah.
He allows him to feel it.
Mhm.
Um, but you notice that when he goes time to train, he's doing that because he's wants Atreus to be ready for when he's not around.
And that's also how Kratos knows how to like mourn the most in a way.
Yeah,
Like that's his way of coping.
yeah. Um, but when Fenrir came back as Garm,
Yeah.
man, that was the cutest little boy.
Oh, it's such a cute little dog. Look at him.
This big ass wolf,
What a boss too. Goddamn.
man. um, I think it's safe to say Gryla was the worst boss.
The Nihog?
No, not Nithog. Gryla,
Oh, Gryla.
the giant
Ah,
in
yes. Yeah.
Ironwood. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was creative, but it was a creative way to take on that boss because you
Not
can't
not
kill it. You
yeah.
can't
It's
kill her.
it's yeah. Not too much spectacle. Not much. Nothing
Mm-mm.
interesting with gameplay.
It's a cool, like, technical feat.
It fits Atreus's
Yeah,
moveset.
yeah, and what he can do at the time.
Yes, because Kratos would
He would just hit.
flick and she's done.
He would have just hit the L3 R3, and it would have been a
Uh,
win.
I I get I guess props to Freya as the boss.
Frey as
Well,
the Valkyrie.
yeah, man, that was
Ooh, that
shocking.
was good. And when like she doesn't even get the helmet off yet, and he's like, Freya,
Freya.
and the camera pans to show her. I was like, holy shit.
That shocked me, but what shocked me the most was Atreus as a bear.
Bjorn,
Yeah,
yeah. When you
when
beat the shit out of this bear, and fucking Atreus shows up, and I was like,
it's like, oh my god.
yeah. The first thing that because when I first started playing the game, I was playing it in the living room with my mom watching, and when like you see Faye, I went, what?
What?
I was like, what? And my mom was like, what? And I was like, that's his wife. I was like,
Didn't think
we're
didn't
gonna
think we see
see
her.
her?
Yeah,
I didn't think we were gonna see her.
smaller than I thought. I
Well,
mean,
not
she's
all giants are giant.
well. It's the thing in the original game. I thought she was like pretty big when he was carrying her, like
Yeah.
tall. But I see her there, I'm like,
Well,
you're you're
she's
you're
around the same height as him.
yeah. She's just about Kratos' height, which
Yeah.
makes me think Kratos is too short, or he's just near a
Well,
lot of tall
remember
women.
she's a Jotnar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Freya is the god. Freya is the
She's
god. So
no, she was mortal.
Freya,
Oh, Freya. Sorry, I think
yeah,
you said Faye.
Freya. I confused it for like a second,
And
and then
Freya's
said
also
Freya.
Kratos' height.
Just about.
Yeah.
In cutscenes, she's like an inch shorter,
Yeah.
but in game because Kratos is almost hunched,
Yeah.
so he just
Like
levels
the
up
only
with her.
characters that are taller than Kratos are fucking Tyr and Thor.
Hmm.
Which man, we didn't even get to talk much about Tyr. It was annoying me how he like disappeared throughout the game a lot.
But then it made sense why
Made sense
afterwards.
why. It still was just like, why the fuck did we even get him?
Now you know why.
But now we know why.
Makes sense because it did feel a little too easy for like when they got Tyr,
Yeah.
when he saved them, and then
So
after that it's like, oh, it makes sense
apparently,
now.
now that you've beaten the game, if you go back to where he was imprisoned,
Yeah, you can find a
you
real
can
Tyr,
find the real Tyr.
which is very interesting.
Which is
I'm gonna
very
try that out.
interesting because like, what is his fucking reaction to the fact that Ragnarok happened?
Everything. What's this man gonna think?
Yeah.
Poor man.
Yeah.
But I guess I like what I saw from Tier. If that is what Tier would be after everything, I liked it.
Mhm.
But I also like the fact that that's probably just Odin's mockery of Tier also. So there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
They fucking swerved us with those trailers.
Oh yeah. Dude, I still can't get over fucking it's over when we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet.
That shit.
I say when it's over.
I say when it's over, yeah. Dude, I did watch a little bit of some people like playing like that moment
Reacting to
and
it.
fucking Maximilian dude, he was like so stunned up when Kratos got up, he goes, contextual death. Contextual death.
The textual death.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little moment where in the second boss for Thor, both of them are like clashing their hammer and axe, and then
Oh, and he
Kratos
throws
wins.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, that was the first boss. I
Yeah.
was talking about the second one when they were
What
like
he?
swinging at each
Oh
other. It
yeah,
was like
yeah.
a PvE sequence. I
Yep.
love that because it was like, yeah, that's right. The axe is better, bitch.
Yep. Because the axe was crafted to combat Mjolnir.
Hmm.
It has none of the flaws that Mjolnir has.
Dwarven magic makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
No, it is not.
It's also very funny looking back at it that in the last game, whenever they upgraded the axe, they tapped it once and it was suddenly better.
Yeah. Also, I love the detail that Thor snaps his fingers to
Yep. Every
bring
time
the hand. That's so cool.
he can pull it back by like putting his hand out, but he has to snap his fingers for it to go into his hands,
Oh yeah,
which is
and
part of like why uh, the Leviathan axe is better. He doesn't have to do that.
yep. And then, well, you know what? You can't fly with the axe now, can you?
No, you can't.
Dude, it's so cool. He doesn't throw the hammer up and hold himself with it. He throws it and then jumps over, or like it pulls him forward,
Yep.
like it pulls him. It's like what the fuck? So jarring. It's so cool. It's a cool Thor, basically.
He's a cool Thor.
It's a cool Thor. What a great take on Thor.
Oh yeah.
This is the definitive Thor now. Fuck their mother one. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
But
he's a cool character.
very cool.
I do wish we kind of got a little bit more Sif.
Hmm?
I think we probably could have gotten a bit more Sif.
Yeah, there's barely any stuff in the game.
Barely any Sif. Um, man, fuck Heimdall. Such a fucking shithead.
Actually, before we move more in on that, I want to say you're right about the whole Sif thing, and it's kind of jarring how quickly she is to be nice to you after everything because she's kind of a cunt to you the whole
She
time.
hates
Yeah,
you when you
she
start.
hates you.
Reasonably so.
Yeah, yeah. But afterwards, she's like okay with you.
I think it's because you are going against Odin, which is what she wants.
Yeah, fair enough. But then again, there's the fact that we don't get any time with her, like we do with
No.
Freya. You know, there's a whole this is a whole it's a whole quest thingy about her forgiving you and whatnot. Moving
It's like
on,
a whole like 2 hour, 3 hour sequence.
and there's barely nothing. There's really nothing with Sif, and then because the goes online, cool. Same with you and Freya,
Mhm.
and then there's Sif who's like, ah, you're cool. Yeah,
Oh, we
again,
didn't even talk about the Norns.
no, we didn't.
Yeah.
They're also cool.
Yeah. They
They are
were they were cool design, cool use.
they are no scissors of fate. Like literally, they aren't. You fucking fight
Yeah.
scissors of fate in the God of War 2. Those
Which
cunts.
he references.
That's what I find the comparison is so cool because I was expecting are we gonna fight these other ladies that control that see time and whatnot?
It was
No,
an
it was
interesting
different.
take on it where it's like they don't actually predict time or prophecy. You're just all too predictable.
The
That
fucking girl
we
mocking
know
them.
exactly what you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's just the girl mocking them the whole time.
Yeah, fucking the one coming out. We are leaving.
We're leaving. Shut up.
Like, what if? Shut up.
Shut up. What a little shit. The horse was cool.
Oh, the
That
Kelpie.
takes you underwater. Yeah, the Kelpie. Reminds me
Right.
of God of War 2, where you also fight a giant Pegasus.
Freya was real snappy this game.
She sure was.
Yeah. Like you saw hints of it in the last game where she's like, I'm still a god.
Hmm.
But in this game, she was hitting Kratos with like the shut up and kill things. You know?
Which
She was
was
hitting
upset him
she was
greatly.
hitting Freya with like, please just stop talking.
Yeah.
And then the shut up. Yeah. She was feisty.
Feisty. Ooh, I like her.
Oh man, fuck Odin when he goes, there's my frig.
Ugh.
You fucking sleaze. Shut
And
up.
what a man,
He's
what a
like,
great villain.
I still love you. Yeah, shut
Well,
up.
what's great about him? He's not twirling mustache villain either. He's very interesting. He's very layered. Unlike Zeus in the original game, he's very one-dimensional, kind of boring, but he's cool to fight. I can easily call Odin the best villain in the God of War series.
That's a fair one.
It's totally fair. Yeah, of course. Hades. He's cool. I guess Zeus. He's also cool.
Baldur?
He's second.
Baldur's cool.
He's second. Then there's Odin.
And then there's Odin.
Yeah. After that, I don't know, the fucking Berserker people. Because I hate them.
Thor. Heimdall,
No.
because I fucking hate him.
Oh, no, mind Heimdall. Oh, never talk about Heimdall. You hate him, but what else can we
Man,
talk about him?
Man, fuck Heimdall. Sorry.
Yeah. I love this take on Heimdall. He's
Such a prick.
He's a prick. He's
And
very
I guess
condescending.
that would come with being all-seeing.
Yeah.
You didn't have to be such an asshole, though.
Just what a prick.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, one of the funniest things in the game was with him and Odin, where you're meeting each other at the halls. No, not the halls. It's just outside of the main hall, Odin's big place, and then they're talking. He means to betray your father, and then that's your looking, you little trickster, huh? I was messing with you, and then and the part where he's just gonna talk to Heimdall, and
like,
it doesn't
yeah,
pause because he's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, of course I'm turns to the left. That was so funny to me.
Yeah. And one of my favorites is like, he's gonna betray you. Yeah, of course.
Of course he's gonna betray me.
Like, were you planning on doing it immediately? No?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
okay, we're
no.
good.
We're good. Odin is so good. Man.
Yeah, that was a good way of, like, trying to hide how much of an asshole he was, but while still allowing him to be an asshole.
That's very him. Like, what a cool take on Odin. What can I say?
Great, it's great, Odin.
You know what You know what? I'm very curious on what the fuck the whole mask is about. I know, but I'm curious too. What is
the
that
infinite
mask?
knowledge.
What's behind that vortex? Give me.
Infinite knowledge, or losing another eye.
Oh no.
That would be funny though if he did put on the mask and all he did was lose another eye.
Oh my god. Alex Sutter. He's there,
He's very slapped on, but he was fine. I didn't have any feelings about him.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can meet Sinmara.
I bet you can. Wherever
She's
that is.
in Helheim, I believe.
I will make sure to go there.
Yeah, I don't think you see her, but you can hear her voice, I guess, or you can meet her.
Yeah,
she has a voice actress.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Iden Versio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, what a easy job.
Well, she's even booking a bunch. She's in Forspoken as the main villain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex Schroeder, short time he's in there. There's the actor did a good job showing off how Schroeder is a man or
he had a
an
weird
entity
voice.
who's kind of did reminded me of Jeff Bridges for a little bit.
He
Just for some
had
reason.
to me like a bit of like a Nicolas Cage or a Clancy Brown kind of thing going.
I see what you mean.
Like he could have very easily been voiced by Clancy Brown, and it would have been fine. It would have worked.
Clancy Brown already voiced Hades in God of War 3, so.
And
no, this would have been like a funny thing. Him like kind of voicing both quote unquote people of the underworld, if that's what sort of counts as.
No, the underworld would be Helheim.
Right.
Surtur, Muspelheim is just the land of fire.
Yeah, the fiery place.
Yeah.
They look similar, but yeah, I just like the whole thing with Surtur where his voice actor did a good job showing off that he was a man who's seen a lot of shit, is kind of sick of the whole violence, but understands everything.
Yeah. And he found love.
Yeah, and doesn't want to sacrifice the thing that he loves, even for the purpose of war, like Kratos. Cool.
When Surtur's like, "Have you ever been in love?" I was fully expecting Atreus to go, "Yes."
but he just goes, feels pretty good.
He's like, the song that starts playing, trying to love two women is like a ball and chain. Bro, Atreus got his own little thing going on, all right?
With
Rude and Angerboda?
yeah, with your end, bro. Like I thought they were gonna meet down the line eventually.
I think they technically do.
I guess they, yeah, no,
Anger's boat is
yeah,
with you when you get to Thrud.
yeah, no, yeah. Of course they would meet, given the fact that she pulled everyone into the vortex. I think like they pulled everyone in, but like we never saw that interaction.
Yeah.
So Atreus getting all the bitches, bro.
Yeah. But he's definitely got a thing for Angerboda.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah. He's gonna go. What is he? He's got to go find the giants.
I thought she would go with him, but
Yeah, I think they said that mission is definitely his. It's
yeah,
hers too, but it's his,
more so it's yeah.
and she would obviously help him, but she wouldn't do it immediately.
Which, by the way, remember the whole thing with the with the marbles and giant
Mm-hmm.
souls that he would know what to do with when the time came. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably it.
Oh,
On
to give
and
it
then
to Fenrir, or no,
no, no, no.
when to
Him
go
him
out
out into
and
the journey.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably it.
yeah.
Maybe.
Which I guess at some point he spoke to Angerboda about it,
Mm,
or kind of figured it out that he's gonna do. But I don't know. That ending was really satisfying.
was the music with it too.
Oh man, Bear McCreary.
Oh man,
Holy shit.
like there was some moment in what I was thinking, like right in that ending with Kratos, Freya, and Mimir looking out into the mountain, into the distance. Like if he just cut there, I would have been fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just black, like oh my god.
Yeah. Or if it cut to black and just put God of War
God of
Ragnarok,
War
it just did a
Ragnarok
title card.
with the hook, no, rock, boom. But I'm also fine with them mimicking the ending of the first game, walking down the steps with
Yep.
music
With the
accompanying,
credits,
which
yeah.
Jesus Christ, intense music by the way, like a cool version of the God of War theme,
Mm-hmm.
which gave me chills.
Dude,
The
when
the da, da,
yeah,
da,
when you're
da.
getting ready to go into battle and you fucking hear the Ragnarok
Oh
theme,
my god, that shit was hype.
I was like, holy fuck.
This is the best game ever.
Uh, yeah, the music was just so well fucking done in this game.
Emotional,
Um,
epic.
which I did watch some of that conversation, that stream that they did with Bear McCreary, and he said that he wrote a theme for Odin that was like pretty ominous, and then he compared it to Kratos' theme, and he goes, "Oh, this guy's gonna beat this guy's ass. I gotta scrap that." So he changed up the Odin theme to have more tension behind it, which is why you get the
Right.
which makes it a little more foreboding, have a little more tension. That he's like, it's essentially the feeling of how he described it was like, "Don't make me do this. Don't make me fight." Which is
Yeah.
why when Odin does fight, the theme gets incredibly loud.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also why Odin's theme is Thor's theme. And why the track is called The Hand of Odin.
Oh yeah.
Because Thor doesn't have his own personality. He's essentially tied to Odin. And so that's why his theme would just be Odin's. Or have like a bit of Odin in there.
The poor fate.
Yep. God. Now I just want to go listen to the soundtrack again.
It's a great soundtrack.
It's a great score.
Ben McCreary was in the game.
Yeah, it's Rabe.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you saw him.
Yeah. When he showed up, I was like, is that a Bear McCreary in my God of War game?
Hey, you're a surprisingly good actor. Good job.
Yeah. It was cool that he got to do actual mocap.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. This is probably just playing a national
Which,
instrument
oh,
right
by
there.
the way, Ludna's voice actress is the AT&T girl.
Really?
Yep, who's also Squirrel Girl.
Huh? I like Luna.
She was fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Very optimistic, thirsting over Kratos.
like
Oh, she
who's this
sure
tall
is.
glass of milk? Which
Don't
can
say
we
that.
can we talk about how there was like an insinuation that she touched Kratos at some point because Kratos has have like an uncomfortable grunt,
I mean, it's probably
and
just
Brock's like,
it's probably just him not being like, oh no, please don't.
God, yeah,
I love
what a
that they. Yeah.
what a fucking game,
Oh, what a great game.
what a fucking game.
Glorious, happy, happy. I'm glad, happy.
I mean, this
Ah,
is very obviously my game of the year.
of course.
Yeah, and it's a tough year because Elden Ring came out.
Yeah. But we didn't finish Elden Ring now, did we?
No, we didn't, and I don't know if I will, despite how good Elden Ring is.
hmm
Um, I played some good games this year, but this easily stands out. This and Elden Ring are the big standouts
Yeah.
of how much
As
I
a
just enjoyed them.
as a God of War fan, I'm very happy.
Well,
Just you see, I was on a very emotional high for this game for sure.
yeah, this is the big one. This is the big wait. Yeah, this is like the okay. I need a PS5 game.
I still need a PS5. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, now's the chance.
I need money.
Money.
I need money, nigga. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Worth the wait. Crazy that it happened. Only
So
4
worth the
years.
wait.
Only 4 years,
Yeah.
thankfully. Not
So
7.
worth the extra weird delay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Christopher Judge and Bear McCree. I'm voting. I'm
Uh-huh. You
better.
and you better too, audience. Or I'm gonna
Please
come
don't.
after you.
Please just don't blindly vote Elden Ring for everything, please.
Please don't.
I mean, it's deserving, but please.
Yeah. Just not narrative. I'll kill you.
What narrative?
Ah. You're gonna piss the other Ring fans off, bro.
Man, all y'all's narrative is in fucking side quests and lore boxes. Cool lore, but
Yeah. Really
yeah.
based on you probably finding characters you probably won't even find in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like me.
Well, what would you rate it?
I can't get the forearm girl. That's she has forearms, right? Something.
Oh,
Multi-arm girl.
yeah. What's her name? Is it Rini?
Right, Rainy, yeah, probably.
Rainy? I
Yeah,
did her whole side quest.
I can't get to her because I already got the
So,
bell
if,
from
so,
somewhere else, so
so
I can't do her side
yeah.
mission.
So if I were to finish the game, I would get her ending.
Nice.
Yeah. I did her whole fucking side quest. It was so annoying to get to do that one boss at the end. It's very satisfying to finish. Anyway, what would you rate God of War?
Ah, damn. Okay, so, mm, man, in terms of how I really feel about it, subjective rating is probably a solid 9.5. I think I love the game a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and my gripes being there with gameplay, a few issues with story contrivances, and those fucking side bosses. Still adore the game a lot. I love it more than God of War 2018. I think it is a better game than 2018, and it might just be my favorite God of War game.
Well, can I predict your score then?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say you're gonna give it a 9.
I'm indeed giving it a 9.
I can understand that because I'm also going to give it a 9.
Hey.
Um, I unfortunately I think God of War 2018 is a better game. I think its
Hmm.
combat is more fair and its story is much tighter. But Ragnarok improves enough of everything that it doesn't make me want to go back to 2018. It definitely is a bit of Doom Eternal in that sense, where it's like, why would I ever fucking go back?
But you did go back.
But I did go back. Um, Doom 2016 holds up,
It
but
does. It's a great game. Great game.
it's a great game. But when you go back and play Eternal, you're like, oh fuck, why would I ever go back?
And I'll say, I think 2016 is a better game than Eternal.
Hmm.
Probably a hot take, but who knows?
I don't know. I gotta finish 2016 and Eternal again.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, fantastic game, fantastic
Mm-hmm.
games. Congratulations to Sony Santa Monica. You guys did it again.
Man, what a journey from this goofy ass God of War 1 game, silly as shit, to this. Who would have thought?
Hmm.
Imagine being the guy who played God of War from the very beginning and to now. How happy you must be very happy, sir.
Yeah, man, what a fucking good ass game.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah,
PS5
and
is now there's 2 PS5 Sony exclusives that were like, because like the Sony exclusives that like made me want it was like, okay, I need a PS5 was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2.
oh, yeah, man.
But when Spider-Man 2 was announced, I already had a PS5, so it doesn't fully count. So it's really Ratchet and Clank and God of War.
Yeah, that's really it.
And Ratchet and Clank blew me away. I fucking adore Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think that game is fantastic. And this game, just like it, blew me away. Fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Sony. Please
Good
stop
job,
charging me $70.
please.
Holy shit.
Por favor. I mean,
It's not
your
gonna
games.
happen though, is
I
it?
mean, your games are worth it probably, but
Yeah. You're filling them with a lot of content, but I don't want to pay $70.
hey, you got a game out of another game. There's a lot of content after God of War Ragnarok, and
Just,
it's
just
crazy.
don't, for games like Returnal, please don't charge 70.
Oh, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah. Man,
That
Returnal's a
hey,
great
that
game, but
that might be coming to PC too. Excited.
yeah. Returnal's a great game, but it shouldn't have been $70.
It's a great game. Yeah.
Not $70 worth though.
No.
It's even funnier is that the studio didn't want to make it 70. Sony was just so fucking happy with how it turned out that we're like, we're charging full price for it.
Listen, if Hades isn't 70, no other game like Hades can be 70.
And Hades is like what, 30 or 25?
No, it's like 20.
It's not
That's
20.
that. I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe
I paid
16.
25 on PC.
Maybe 16.
It's either 25 or 30. It's not 20.
It's 25.
Okay.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. And
And
and on
Hades,
console it's 30.
yeah, wow. And Hades is like, uh, you know, it's Hades. What can I say?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Hades is great.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. This game's fucking fantastic.
Fantastic.
Uh,
A
we'll
big
put
fan too.
love it.
I can't wait to play it again. New Game Plus. Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
After I try to platinum it, try.
yeah. I am very excited to finish Bayonetta 3.
I gotta finish doing that too.
I am terrified for how apparently the ending is horrible.
Oh my.
But yeah. Well, that has been another section from us.
Oh, by the way,
Hmm.
I had 48 hours of my playtime.
And I finished out with 27.
Mm-hmm.
So the clear difference here.
Very clear.
Yeah. But yeah. Man. Very excited to play Bayonetta 3 and Crisis Core in December. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Midnight Suns.
I forgot about that.
I know I'm gonna get it.
Uh, I got Callisto Protocol on my mind. That game looks
Oh,
fire.
shit, right? Callisto Protocol 2. That game looks great.
Hmm.
All right, we need to stop this recording.
Bye.